All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. Today, we are going to be checking out Sevatar, the Traitor Who Spoke the Truth, obviously uploaded by the Amber King. This absolutely killed the poll we did on it, guys. So big thank you to everyone who voted on that. Appreciate it, guys. Hopefully everyone's having a great night. And yeah, Sevatar. So what do I know about Sevatar? I believe he is a Night Lord, if I remember correctly. And I believe he's not just any Night Lord. Isn't he captain of First Company, too? I don't know a whole lot about his character, a whole lot about, his history, you know, what he's done, where he comes from, anything like that. I've heard him referenced a few times, but just like information, like kind of I'm recalling from the back of my mind. I'm pretty sure he's actually kind of up there in terms of who he is. So this is going to be an interesting one. And yeah, as I say, big thank you to everyone for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Battle Chicken, we got you back. Good to see you here, man. Andrew, awesome to see you. Yeah, guys, without any further delay. Khold, awesome to see you too, man. I see you. Hold on. Got to make sure everyone gets their just due, you know what I'm saying? Everyone chatting. We got a lot of lurkers usually, but thank you to everyone who's chatting as well. Also, if you guys enjoy these streams, hit that like button. It does support the streams a lot. It does help out a ton. And yeah, without any further delay, I say we get right into this one. This one's a long one, just shy of 3 hours, and yeah, I'm ready for it. Liked up, captions on, quality 1080. Without any further delay, guys, so we get right into it.
The only way to bring a population to heel.
What do I have, paper?
Then did the other Primarchs manage it? How has world upon world managed it, without resorting to butchering children and broadcasting their screams across the planetary Voxnet?
It was the only way.
Wow.
Their worlds were never
turned down a touch.
As serene as mine was.
And the serenity of yours died the first second your back was turned. So tell me again how you succeeded. Tell me again how this all worked perfectly.
Already the voice acting sounds awesome. Wow, have to say.
He is a prisoner cloaked in darkness. His
Holy
hands
shit.
are splashed with the Vitae of life. The crimson stains him. In echo of his dead homeworld's tradition, criminals were tattooed red by their families.
Oh, wow.
To show them as death marked. A sign that no gang or family would tolerate grave failure.
Damn,
The
dude.
condemned still had labors to perform before they were allowed to die.
Conrad's bestie?
He has
Okay.
been a traitor and a fool.
Yeah, I guess
For
this would be
time in
his number one,
existence,
wouldn't it?
He has killed one who was deserving.
Hmm.
He has killed to save a life.
I am justice. I am judgment. I am punishment.
It dawns upon him why his father had marked him. On the killing fields of Isfahan 5 at the Horus Heresy's dawn. For he has betrayed him.
Hmm.
He is Sevatar, Prince of Crows no longer. He has become something more.
Okay.
Hatred is never so sweet, and vengeance never so pleasurable, than when it is applied to one once loved. A proverb of a world choked in smoke, a civilization devoid of a sun's warmth. From a child's eyes black as the reigning perpetual midnight, he looked to the sky. He witnessed the only true illumination, lighting a backdrop of smog-choked skies. There the nobility of Nostromo Quintus languished.
Criminals on Nostromo, how bad must they be?
Illumination.
Holy shit.
Across the hive cities, with civilizations stacked upon each other from the dim-lit towers. to
And
the utter
I must say
ruins
too, like,
below.
oh shit. I must say too, real quick, like, the fact that they get tattooed red is just like disassociation. But doesn't that, I mean, that's marking them for death already. So I guess it's kind of just like an extra like level of humiliation, I guess, before you supposedly die. That's kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Listen, this is going to be the Night Lords, you know, there's going to be a lot of rancid shit in this. I can only imagine.
Stacked upon each other.
We're gonna be hearing a lot of it.
towers to the utter bleak ruins below. The billions of Nostromo suffered the same curse. That this was a world of utter ruthlessness. The child's black eyes, even at his young age, could perceive this. It was his destiny to join the various gangs that had murdered for scrap on every street and slum. Perhaps by the time this child was in his adolescence, he would have taken his first life.
Probably before then, honestly.
His life draining away in a rain-slick alley just like his father. The boy's mother hated when he spoke like this. She always said, "One day, Diego, you will grow out of it and be better with people." Diego didn't believe her. His sense for always being right felt more like a curse. He couldn't help it. From the time he and others had
For always
danced through
being
the
right.
dangerous streets to the Skolum, to the gang fights where blades were drawn, he felt the answer come to him before
Does this
the
guy just have like
questions
a
were asked.
yeah? Does he just have like a spidey sense in a way? You know what I'm saying? Like he just kind of, or is he just like? Does he just have like a great like practical, I guess, like sense? You know what I mean? Like he knows how shit's gonna go. Like he's a very like realistic person. He's not like, you know, burdened by like over optimism, for example, or anything like that, right?
He felt the answer come to him before the questions were asked. He knew the strike was coming before the knife had reached the assailant's hands. There was no friendship to the boy.
7 social skills, yeah.
Everyone else. Only
Maybe
to his
so.
surprise, many had
I'm assuming he's probably just, sorry to pause again right here off the bat. I'm assuming he's really like not the best with people. Like he's socially kind of like inept, for lack of a better word. Doesn't really get there, you know? I have to keep an eye out for
better than
that.
Everyone else. Only to his surprise, many had admiration, or perhaps it was fear. He could never grasp which one it was. Others were so hard to read, which was why he preferred to be alone, tossing breadcrumbs to hungry crows as he looked out towards the city of murder. At times he felt the pressure build, as if some awakening knocked at the door he kept barred, but he suppressed it,
Amazing.
lest the pressure turn into severe headaches, or worse, seizures. The voices were bad enough, but it compared nothing to looking into the eyes of the dead. There were always corpses on Nostromo. A part of him knew what this was, and the thought of being torn apart by an angry mob wasn't so inviting. Screams. Endless screams echoed through the layers of choking civilization on Nostromo Quintus. Screams in of itself was
This
nothing
place looks
new to
awful.
Diego.
Oh. Alarm going off as always. Hold on. Let me turn my phone off real quick here. Just so that doesn't happen again. That scared me. I was like, what the fuck? Invasion? No, we're good. Everything's okay. Plug my phone in, turn that shit off. We're going.
It was the background accompaniments to his life in squalor. Yet these haunting howls gave him pause. A soul in anguish far beyond the daily senseless violence of constant dark Nostromo. From picked screens from the lowest warrens to the glittering towers of nobility, Diego bore witness to the monster. The rumor made flesh. The story that haunted nightmares.
Oh, the Night Haunter? Does he lay eyes on him?
Haunter.
Holy shit.
It was a man. No, it was far larger than a man.
He actually
It was
sees
a
him?
towering giant, pale skinned like all Nostromo, with eyes like voids. Its teeth were razors. Its bones jutted out despite its muscular form. It was wrapped in cloaks and makeshift armor panels that shifted its silhouette to resemble the foul beast that roamed Nostromo's black deserts. Worst of all was its voice.
God damn, dude.
It sounded human. Diego felt his mind shift from permanent detached survival to pure fear, as for the first time he felt like a helpless prey, caught in a predator's gaze.
I am going to save you. I
Oh,
am going to save you all. The people of this world will rise above the station of beasts. I will make them. If I have to bathe in the blood of you all to make that happen, then so be it.
Sinners, the Night Haunter.
we're saved, guys. Yeah, our savior.
Disobedience who had to learn true
Holy
justice.
shit.
The torture screams behind the night hall.
Man, I don't know. Again, you guys kind of know my opinion on Mr. Kurz there. You know, you know, he's a little radical, you know, for my liking. You know, I mean, I get it. Listen, by all means, listen. Yeah, brother, sure, but you know, I mean, I'm here to save you. How in the same line are you gonna say I'm here to save you all? But if I need to bathe in your blood, all of you, to make that happen, then so be it, you know? Like, how does, you know, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like you know, you're here to save us, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, if I was one of those people, I wouldn't feel, like, calmer hearing that, you know? I wouldn't be like, oh, okay. Yeah, he knows what he's saying. No, I'd be like, oh. Decapitate the child? Like, yeah, no, damn, dude.
To learn true justice. The torture screams behind the Night Haunter continued, the victim wailing in an agony so deep that they begged for death. Their crime, Jago could not recall. For in the years
I stole an apple.
All he would remember is
like,
the same
probably
screams, the same pain, all from the crime of murder, thievery, to underpaying staff, to simple public disturbance. The streets of Nostromo Quintus began to grow quiet.
You threw a bottle at that building, sir?
To shopkeepers, many began to disappear.
Public hanging.
Over years, a disturbing quiet
Not even
descended upon
public disembowelment, more like, you know, like on the street, actually, like as in like, like tied to the like local lamppost and just like right there, and then you're just left, like some Jack the Ripper type shit, you know. But like that's just the punishment for the law around here. Damn, dude.
Began to disappear.
Underpaying staff,
Over
honestly,
years, a disturbing quiet
respectable.
upon Nostromo.
I feel that one, to be fair.
Jago alongside others feared to speak, lest you draw the Night Haunter. From the tallest spire in Nostromo Quintus, the monster finally declared himself
Keep it
king,
that way, damn, dude.
as Nostromo suffered no crime again. To look upon him, it burned some to permanent blindness.
I don't know, man.
From the skies,
Committing
a golden
crimes to
evil
stop
ship
crimes.
descended. The city wept as the delegation of light took step towards the Night Haunter's palace. Every man, woman and child gathered in the streets, their pale faces
Just looks like
staring
Gotham
upon
City, dude.
strangers in their midst. As the sky was brightened by the false stars of void ship engines, Jago could not push through the crowd to see, but the wails of exultation could be heard for miles. Warriors the size of giants marched through the grim, slick streets, as at their core 4 titans strode. And if the rumors were true, they marched towards the Dark King. Last came the figure that would change this world forever. Jago could not believe the words others spoke of him. This Emperor of mankind, a giant in resplendent golden plate, whose very presence was humanity distilled, the source of the weeping millions who had been blessed with a glimpse. This emperor had come at the head of a spanning empire, the Imperium of mankind. From
Like, see, imagine, but like, see, that's so backwards though, because like at the same time, I could totally be like, as one of these citizens, you lay eyes on the Emperor, you're like, holy fuck, now we're saved. Maybe, you know, things will improve around here. You know, because like in ways they have, of course, but also if you're outside past like 7 p.m., you're just risking like actual torture murder, like straight up. And that's just like, oh, curfew. Oops. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So maybe it's like seeing the Emperor, you'd be like, oh yeah, thank God, you know, like this is awesome. Yeah, we're actually going to have like a life now. But then in the same like breath, it's like, oh yeah, this is my son, you know, Conrad Kerr is like, what the fuck? Like, so this is your son. You created him. No. You know what I mean? Like, that just makes me sus of the Emperor suddenly. I'd be like, oh, there's ulterior motives. 100% has to be.
head of a spanning empire.
Kurz wasn't unreasonable with his rules.
Mankind. From terror they set out to reunify
I mean,
mankind
yeah.
across the stars.
I feel like at times he was, to be fair.
Unity.
It all depends what, I guess, like...
For his son, his Primarch.
Just don't fucking break them.
A
Yeah, like
general
that's
to
the
lead
thing.
vast armies in his name. He had come for Conrad Kurz, the Night Haunter. They shall be my finest warriors, the Emperor had said. These men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall
Ulterior
they
motives with
arm.
the Emperor.
They will be untouched by plague or
I
disease.
it's more just like the case of like, I could see like that being like a citizenry like conspiracy theory, you know, on Nostromo, like straight up, like being like, oh my god, like Conrad Kurz is the fucking son of the Emperor. I don't know Gilliman personally, but I know Conrad Kurz is fucking like is actually just Freddy Krueger on meth, like straight up. Like I don't know what else to say. Like, bruh.
They be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease. No sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. Jago felt the most excruciating pain in his life.
Dorn had issues with Conrad.
Organs.
Well, I do like Dorn.
Material of the being
Dorn's pretty
now
base,
knew
to be fair.
Conrad Kurz were surgically placed within his adolescent form. Chemicals and stimuli filled his veins, as ruthless training began under men called Space Marines.
My god.
Superhuman warriors of the 8th Legiones Astartes. The strongest and brightest of Nostromo's sons were offered up. Many Jago recognized from his own gang and rivals.
Dorn had
They were
issues with
offered a
everyone.
chance to join mankind in the unification of the galaxy.
Yeah, that's
It is.
yeah, that's not entirely wrong actually. And it does seem like at one point or another, Dorn did eventually have a problem with somebody. Yeah, everyone. But it's just like, to what degree did that progress? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it was like, you know, a meek problem. Other times it was pretty extreme. Other times it was extreme, but it didn't lead to like, you know, anything too terrible, at least.
A chance to join mankind in the unification of the galaxy. It is the 30th millennium, and after nearly a decade of combat training, Jago stood in a chamber. He stood
Like
there
usually
beside
when he
thousands of
bitches, it's
transformed beings
valid
like
in a
him.
way.
The
Usually.
embarrassment of mortal humans forgotten, lost in their elevation. In midnight blue he was clad, with a leering skull helm and covered in flayed flesh and dark trophies. Like the Night Haunter before him,
I made you a
his
face
silhouette would
mask.
inspire fear. Dread, his greatest weapon to bring worlds
Literally.
into compliance. A chain-glaive spear placed into his hands as he sails to the stars.
Justice is my purpose. The only route to total justice is fear. Without fear, there can be no order. You will suffer now to feed that fear, so that many others will live.
I am the son of a sunless world, an 8th Legion to my core. Jago Sevatarian proclaims. As to the stars, the sons of
Of course, before he went on jihad.
continuing the compliance set out by the Emperor of Mankind and his vast armies.
That is a pretty
He
apt
finds
way to
no
describe it,
true
yeah.
Comrades, no true brothers. He finds great difficulty in recalling that other people have different perspectives to him. Of course, he knew that they led different lives, and shaped by different experiences, but he struggled to imagine their frames of reference. He couldn't, in essence, see things from their point of view. From Mark III plate, from the hulking forms of the elite First Company Terminators, the sons of Nostromo began to ascend the ranks, replacing the Terran veterans lost in the ever-demanding wars of the Imperium. After decades, Jago stood beside the nightmare of his childhood, his Primarch Conrad Kurz. Ave Dominus Nox. Hail the Lord of Night, who showed Diego the truth of
Oh my
humanity.
god.
When non-compliant worlds would rally in defense,
What the hell?
only to be
That just
met
looks like an
by
evil
silence.
Farquaad right there.
Weeks of silence.
Bruh.
Until the screams began. The projection of torture that Diego and his legion would inflict upon the civilians stolen in the night. Capitulation always came, and sometimes without a bolter being fired. Gifted, ruthless, dishonorable.
Got on well with Sanguinius?
Called him. A reputation in combat unmatched. A respect earned by no others. And most surprisingly of all, the favor of the Primarch. He was now Sevatar, first captain, master of the Atramentar, first company, the Prince of Crows. The eerie silence.
Man, he got that
formed
promotion pretty
spread
quick.
across the legions.
No, I'm kidding.
conquests. They were hated, despised by other Primarchs and legions. Diego could feel it in their judgmental stares. Please spare us your moral relativism, Uncle. He had told Magnus the Red,
Oh.
when the legions had almost come to blows over a library. After decades of war, countless deserving and undeserving slain, at the right hand of his Primarch, Diego saw firsthand the instability. It was no secret that the Lord of the Eighth
How do you actually like spell his name? Like is it Yigo or is it like Yego? You know what I mean? Or is it like Jago? You know what I mean? Like how do you actually spell his name? I'm actually kind of curious about that because the autocorrect, like the captions, is like fucking me hard. Like how do you pronounce it? You know? Yeah, it's okay. Yago. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Yago. Yago. That's crazy. Let me just write that down just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The instability. It was no secret that the Lord.
Yeah.
of the Eighth
Yago
Supplication
Sevatar.
of the
Yeah.
future,
Okay. I knew his last name was
deadly weapon that
Sevatarian.
fueled his perfect justice upon Nostramo. Yet
His first
sanity
name was just like
moments made Sevatar
fucking me up because of the captions a little bit.
He found a certain irony in the apparent questioning of sanity. For a demigod that skinned others' lives and projected their screams to relatives.
Oh.
But it could not be denied. After decades, the Primarch had begun to speak to himself. The maddening truth
Yeah.
of whether here was
Losing
now
his mind.
or lost in a vision. The truth dawned on Sevatar, that Kurz's grasp on reality was slipping. Sevatar led his command claw through a
Kurz
city
is
of
seeing the
choking
fucking night
clouds,
people, dude.
fresh smoke rolling through every street, vision almost completely obscured. Lumps of rock.
Love that
often
sub back
staring
chats,
straight through.
Marks.
The city they moved through was a dense ruin,
Does he just serve
still
it back to him?
thundering with orbital bombardments. At Sevatar's side was Cayman Manek, Ashmenkai Vor, Gish Tavor, and Yankan Fen. Their mission was utter idiocy, and
Oh.
would surely result in their doom. But none dared speak it to Sevatar. Their search for the Night Haunter had brought them into the proverbial eye of the storm. The squad began to bicker, and Sevatar grew tired of standing around, pushing forward into nearby buildings. There were still pockets of resistance in this city. When a gunshot
You're gonna
banged
hear me
off their
complain
armor,
about the Eldar
the
Phoenix
entire squad
Lords?
replied with their bolters.
Eldar Phoenix Lords getting hurt
All
by a
found the
space marine.
attempt brave.
Oh, great. Is it gonna be one of those stories where, like, we just watch, like, the Eldar get, like, fucking slapped around, even though they 100,000% should not be? Because, man, that's always depressing to see, you know? Because, like, again, like, in canon, it's like, oh, yeah, the Eldar have, like, some fucking really advanced shit. They should be able to collapse space marines, but then you'll just see this odd space marine just come out there and fucking annihilate some shit. He gets main character syndrome, you know? I don't mind main character syndrome a little bit. Like I don't mind it when it's necessary, sure. But there's an overuse of it, and I just hope that they don't overuse it. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
The entire squad replied with their bolters.
Like with Gilliman's
All found the
story,
attempt brave.
bro,
but Manek only
that's
sought
some
to
main
imitate.
character syndrome.
They halted at the foothold
Hot
of the
damn.
towering structure.
Makes sense,
One
but
so
hot
large that
damn.
even after a direct hit from a lance strike, it still stood straight. Inside the building, it was a ruined mess, from its withering heights down to the basement. Ash and ruined furniture littered the floor, old water pipes draining into nothing. Look at this place.
Phoenix Lords are the Eldar version of
Why
Primarchs. Okay.
This planet is already
Maybe I'll do a
ours.
lore video on them sometime. That actually
Why
sounds
has the
interesting.
Night Haunter come down here? Said Fen. He whistled, pointing towards the destruction. Sevatar knew why, but he didn't say. Who knows what the Primarch's will is? Perhaps he wishes to make himself a new domicile. Now it has been remodeled. This looks like the sort of place Lord Kurz might favor, said Vor. Vor made himself busy with his Auspex, which was mostly useless in the orbital bombardment, alongside the rest of the equipment for navigating. It was not chance that brought Sevatar into the ruined building. An itch at the edge of his consciousness dragged his attention upwards through the mess of the lance hit. Sevatar preferred not to let his curse guide him, but he would rather use it than die. And right
Yeah,
now,
that's
it guided
reasonable.
him further up. The command claw began climbing the stairs, until they looked upon 5 legionary corpses, all of them 96th Company, 12th Claw. Their armor was ruined, their skin peeled back, and their gene seed removed.
Oh,
A dark truth dawned upon them. These wounds were inflicted by power blades, set in pairs, wide-spaced. Artificial lightning claws, said Manak grimly.
only we have those.
Replied Fen. And forgiveness, said Tovor.
Mercy
This
and
was the work
forgiveness.
of
We
their
peeled
own
their skin
father.
back.
Sevatar was silent, and continued looking for his Primarch.
That's fucked.
They poured into the wrecked auditorium.
Yeah, imagine like, yeah, you're going there looking for dear old dad, and you just find like, oh yeah, your brother's like literally with their fucking faces like peeled back and their skin carved, you know? And you're like, you think he's still in the mood to talk and come back to the Legion? I don't know. I genuinely, I could be wrong. I just personally wouldn't risk it, you know? Maybe he can stay down there, you know? Maybe we can send like a message over to the Emperor and we can be like, listen, as much as we all love Conrad Kurz, right? Dear old father over here, you know, son to you, of course, dear Emperor, but let's just look and leave him here. He's lost his mind. He's going crazy.
Continued looking for his
It's already
Primarch.
happening. We're only 20 minutes
Poured
in.
into the wrecked auditorium. The air stank of the distinct iron
Like, God damn it.
of legionary blood. Kurz sat at the epicenter of slaughtered transhuman warriors, his chin streaked with blood, and shreds of engineered organ flesh still stuck to his teeth. Sevatar,
And he's cannibalizing. Great.
why are you here? It is dangerous. The bombardment. He waved the flopping limb up at the ceiling. We have come for you.
The bombardment, that's the danger here.
You are at risk. Kurz did not see any risks. Only a risk for Sevatar and his squad. Sevatar doubted his Primarch could survive a lance hit. Kurz began to speak of the justice.
Grandpa Big E, Conrad's just made a room out of living people's faces. Like, yeah.
Fresh recruits.
Like, just, yeah.
And he had killed them for the crime of over.
Honestly, you could just make some shit up and the Emperor would probably believe it at this point. I'm just saying, like, if it's concerning Conrad, it wouldn't even be, like, out of bounds, you know? Straight up just make some shit up. Like, whether he did it or not, and trust me, he probably did it. You know? Like, nah.
Company were all fresh recruits, and he had killed them for the crime of overreaching their ambition for slaughter, where it was not needed. Kurz turned to Sevatar and his men, and began to
Dad
question
forgot
their
his meds again, made a
teachings.
skin room.
Terror is a
He's making human couches again,
and a
man.
friend of compliance,
Please.
they replied.
And out of us, too.
Haunting pride cracked on Kurz's face, prideful to see that his teachings did not go to waste. Those he killed were cruel. They slew to entertain themselves,
What?
and Kurz found them unworthy of his gifts. and had decided to take them back. Then the bombardment. It is to hide their crimes from the other legions? Asked Manic. You, at least, Cayman Manic, are blessed with a little brain.
Oh.
Kurs said. A city burns when it should not. All for the errors of these criminals. We should return to the fleet, my lord. I promise to convene the Crypteria at first opportunity, said Sevatar. We shall conduct a purge of the inappropriate recruits. A grunt greeted Sevatar's promise. It will not help. It is too late for that now.
Everything's
The serpent has
tainted.
bitten. The poison is inside the body and begins its work. I have seen it. From a shadow even a strong
fucking
eye
crazy,
could not
dude.
pierce.
He's lost his mind.
Corax, Primarch of the Raven Guard,
Oh,
emerged,
based.
confronting the Night Lords for orbitally bombarding a compliant city.
Hey, you crazy fuck.
Sevatar and his crew raised their voices,
What are you doing?
not daring to fire.
Like,
Something that size
Literally.
able to hide from him. Sevatar thought, unnerved by the Raven Lord's prowess. The similarities between the two brother Primarchs was undeniable. Only Kurz's eyes contained a drop of white at the edges. Kurz began to explain the internal dispute.
like,
to his
bruh.
brother, the disgust evident on Corax's
Like they
face.
were listening.
The Raven Lord turned away, melting into the shadows again, when Corax evoked Sevatar directly. First, Captain, that silky, miserable voice said. Does he believe it to be true, that your legion is a weapon of fear? He does, Sevatar replied.
It is.
Do you believe it? Corax asked. Sevatar did not reply. I'd say many of the other legions see you as coteries of sadists and murderers, said Corax. His voice was completely isolated from the outside noise, and he spoke eerily into Sevatar's helm. So I ask you again, do you believe it? My lord Kurz, Sevatar said stiffly, and severed the box. My lord Nighthaunter, what are your orders? Sevatar asked the question, hoping he would not be commanded to hunt down their allies. Let them go, said Kurz sadly. Now is not the time for us to kill our brethren. Cold, dark dread rose through the choked channels of Sevatar's
Now is not the
mind at
time.
those words.
Later will be.
Sevatar was uneasy at his Primarch's declaration, and a headache pulsed behind his left eye.
Oh.
Kurz even tried to break the tension with a joke, asking if Sevatar preferred crows to ravens. Sevatar did not understand jokes, and was relieved when Kurz joined them to teleport back to their ship. My lord, you said now is not the time to kill our brothers, Sevatar said, after dismissing the others. I did, said Kurz distractedly,
With a smile across his
examining
face
the
from
wall
ear to ear.
as
I
if seeing
did.
it as it was before, unmarked by war and the blood of
Holy
his
shit.
sons. Sevatar thought carefully before continuing, but caution had never been his strongest attribute. The phrasing you employ...
Kerr is the only
suggested to
person
me
with a
that
sense
you're
of humor
foreseeing
darker than
bloodshed.
mine. Yeah, he's pretty bad,
Is
man.
this the case? Kurz stared at him, the black buttons of his depthless eyes threatening to swallow the first captain whole.
Crows are
I
ravens,
can tell
Sevatar.
you will die if you wish, said Kurz softly,
What the fuck?
grave as a corpse-choked battlefield from whence all glory had fled. Do you want to know? It is far, far away from here, in the endless dark. No,
Just be like, Kurz, you're such a goddamn party crasher. Like, bro. Could you imagine your dad coming up to you and being like, hey there, Sevatar. Hey, you wanna know how you die? Yeah, you wanna know how you succumb? Hmm? Like, no, I don't want to know that. Like, why are you even bringing that up? Like, bro, like why, like, leave me alone. Like, listen, you're back on the fleet. All's good. I don't need to. We don't need to have that conversation right now. Like, he's being weird, bro.
From here, in the endless dark.
Imagine he opens with a joke, and then
Said Sevatar
5 seconds later, he just
I do not wish
rips into that question.
Then never ask me questions like that again, Sev. Said Kurz.
Oh,
Your question and mine are different. But you are like the answer to neither much. The Great
or was it just an open threat?
A near century of war, where none had seen the permanent twilight of their homeworld, Nostramo. The rot within the Legion was becoming worse, accompanied with the debilitating visions of curse. Legionaries began to hunt serfs and human auxiliaries for sport in the lower decks of their ships.
Great.
The endless torture of non-compliant worlds had gone from a necessary evil to a relish delight. All led by a distant father, all too willing to install the dread and tolls for pain, yet unwilling to pull in the reins of their worst excesses. The Great Crusade had battled for unending decades. The Emperor of Mankind's empire had almost spanned the entire galaxy. To the Primarch's inner sanctum, Sevatar was called. The hunched, gaunt figure of his Primarch looked directly into his eyes.
Oh god.
A visage that would bring most to trembling dread.
He's looking even more corpsely than
Primarch
usual.
claimed he knew what had to be done. And he knew he could share it with his most trusted sons.
You look sickly.
Sevatar and Kurz's equerry, Shang. Their Primarch's mental state was a closely guarded secret. Yet Kurz preferred to confer his darkest plans with Sevatar before turning to Shang. The 8th Legion has become infested by men who revel in the means, whilst losing sight of the end. They take pleasure in pain, and scoff at the notion of crime and punishment. Kurz said. I had noticed. The timing of your realization could have been better, my lord, said Sevatar. And at a time our methods are under scrutiny like at no other. The Primarch shoved a ledger towards the first captain, so that it bumped against his helm. Sevatar glanced at the script written with a machine's precision, on leaves of handmade paper. Elements within the Legion have abetted the criminals of the homeworld. While I frothed and raved in my quarters, they have welcomed these degenerates into our ranks with open arms. All for power, Sevatar said immediately.
To be fair, you've been absent completely, for the most part.
Far beyond the weakness of baseline man.
Like, bruh.
And participation in the greatest venture the human race has engaged in would be enough power for anyone. But what do I know? The motivations of other men.
Conrad's insanity is a closely guarded secret.
Idiocy.
How do the Night Lords define secrecy? Like, bro. Yeah, like, I don't understand that. Yeah. They're sitting there, like, acting like that. Like, no, everybody knows. Everybody knows. You could go to, like, a fucking recruit in, like, I don't know, any other legion, literally, and they would know, you know, that Conrad is crazy. He's lost his mind. There's been talk of it everywhere, actually. Your average guardsman knows that, like, you know, you just don't make jokes around them, you know? You don't laugh. And you don't stay out past curfew.
I see as idiocy. Others embrace. Why do they not see power craves more power? It is a fool's hunger that consumes all until it eats the man that suffers it. It would amuse me if it weren't so dangerous. The pursuit of power within the hierarchy of the Legion is to be encouraged. To create structures outside of its structure is disloyal, replied Kurz. I've already set in motion plans to curb the excesses of the worst. All captains suspected of involvement with the debasing of the standard of recruits are being questioned. Kurz turned another page. Commendable. Would call it off. Sevatar's slightly narrowed eyes were the only sign of puzzlement he permitted himself. Now that is an interesting stance to take. I assume you'll explain to me why. The Legion has to be brought back under control. A show of force is required. Kurs flipped the book closed.
What a moment of enlightenment,
Kurs
Kurs.
knew how deep the rot had gone.
Holy shit.
Those who ruled on Nostromo ignored him, leaving questions unanswered, and forcing the Primarch to learn about Nostromo's current situation from the Council of Terror. Powerful and loyal men like Balthius were overthrown or had given in to the corruption. In the eyes of Kurs, his legion was already poisoned, and the Primarch was determined to cut the problem from the root, much to Sevatar's surprise. You will not punish the Legion, but Nostromo. I intend to do more than punish it,
No,
said Kurs.
we're going to burn it.
I will make an example of the light which none
Oh my
can
God.
ignore. Exterminatus, said Sevatar, flatly. Kurs grinned.
Nothing else will
That's
do.
why I like you so much, Sev.
Oh my
I don't
god.
have to explain things to you. You grasp everything swiftly. And moreover, you understand why I do what must be done. If you say it must be done, then it must be done. We can only rely on our own fleet, said Kurs.
If you say it must be done, it must be
My
done.
brothers, they would not understand. They would try to stop me.
Yeah, no shit.
Months will be wasted while arguments are made and evidence presented. If I manage to convince them, they would attempt to force a new compliance. During this time, those responsible will flee Nostromo. By following the law, justice will not be done. If Nostromo must be destroyed, it shall be done quickly. Sevatar nodded.
Like, see, this is radical
Already
as
making
shit.
plans
That's
to
all I'm
prepare
saying.
for the destruction of his home. Amongst the Legion, both Hastatis and mortals would object. Sevatar knew. But with the Atramentar, any sign of rebellion against the Primarch would be utterly futile. Sevatar argued that Shang should not be told of this plan, yet Kurs decided anyway. We shall see it done after Sharut. Before then, I have another task to perform. It is time I spoke to my brothers. Kurs looked to his tarot cards. What will happen is unclear to me, but perhaps all this horror can be forestalled. Perhaps the rumors are inflated, and Nostromo might be saved, murmured Kurs. Maybe Balthius is alive, and this situation can be rectified. Do you believe that? Sevatar asked. The Primarch's manner changed. Not for a moment, Sev. Kurz's hair swung over his face, and he bowed his head over yet more damning evidence. Nostromo will burn. Fate and justice demand it.
So that all stemmed from, there was like some criminal acts going on, I suppose, within the Legion itself, and Kurs really fucking didn't like that. So based upon even a slight bit of those people, I guess, getting into his Legion, the homeworld must be fucking exterminatus. We have to get rid of it. It's not clean anymore. It's dirty. We're lacking. We can't have this. Get rid of it. Like, bro, this is some crazy shit. And Sevatar is just nodding his head. Sevatar doesn't give a fuck. He didn't even like argue. I think Sevatar has like, I mean, he's got some dialogue, of course, but damn, he's kind of just a yes man here to Kurs so far. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's why I like you. You know what must be done. Like, bro.
Fate and justice demand it. Sharut was a long and bitter war. 5 legions, 3 Primarchs and
Leaders in
millions of
Nostromo
mortal
let it slip
soldiers
back into its old ways.
months of brutal sieges and bloody assaults. Yet this would not be its legacy.
You're allowed to go out
Sharut
past
would
7
be
p.m.
remembered as the place where the
And maybe
cracks
we
began
won't
in
skin you
brotherhood
alive if you
ideology.
steal.
Sharut would see Rogel Dawn bloodied at the hands of Kurs, and the Night Haunter fleeing into a future of further atrocity. The gilding of glory and honor looked for by Fulgrim's 3rd Legion.
His levels of humanity and carrying our stories of legend, clearly. Holy shit.
A brother's help.
I thought you guys were like serious when you were saying that shit. No, he doesn't care at all. He's like, okay.
He faced accusations.
Yes, Papa Conrad.
On Sharut, the Night Haunter would come to haunt Royal Dawn, as the Imperial Fist Primarch was almost slain at his brother's hands. Compliance had almost been achieved. The last bastion of enemy resistance was flittering out. Yet Sigismund only saw the brutality of
Sigismund!
Lords. The first captain of Dawn's Sons almost killed the Midnight Blue legionary he saw, were it not for the intervention of Fafnir Ran.
Fafnir?
Diego Sevatarian appeared before his cousin legionary, his armor slick with the blood of innocence.
Sev started the Night Lord baby punting competition? Dude.
Yet nihilism and apathy
He might have.
was given back. From a scarred face,
Yearly
pulled into a
tradition.
permanent, arrogant grin.
Bi-monthly tradition, even.
Sevatar made to turn. Yet nothing to say, nothing to justify to this cousin. When Sigismund plunged his sword into the ground at Sevatar's feet, the midnight-clad warriors laughed. The death of a civilization around not enough to dull their twisted sense of humor. Sevatar stared at the sword. You don't want to do this, don't you? He smiled. Here and now, Sigismund demanded. All right, said Sevatar, rolling his eyes. He looked around as the cordon of Imperial Fists and Night Lords took hold.
We fight until one yields.
Sevatar called. Sigismund nodded. Agreed. The smell of the murdered city filled Sigismund's nose as he drew a breath. Only blows with weapons, said Ran. Sevatar raised an eyebrow, then shrugged.
They say you have played in the dog pits of the 12th. So I can understand it if you're worried he might have picked up bad habits.
Dog
Can't
pits
have
of the
a Lord
12.
Templar in more grubby brawls than needed, can we?
Sigismund did not acknowledge the words.
Well then.
Sigismund is a god, dude. What are you talking about?
Stopping in his own stride, reaching down to pull the helm from where it hung at his waist, and lower it over his head. A fanged skull gazed back at Sigismund from beneath a crest of crimson wings. The eye lenses lit.
Let's get this over with.
Sevatar moved. His chain staff flicked out, and then twisted into a cut. It was fast. Shockingly fast. Sigismund was already moving forwards, as he felt it clang from his blade as he parried. He turned the blow and thrust, shifting the sword from one hand, all his weight and speed behind the point of the blade. One hit, one kill, true and pure. Even without its power field, the blow would breach armor and punch into flesh, if it struck the right point. And Sigismund had seen the gap open above Sevatar's gut plate, the place where plates and cables joined, and the sword would ram into the torso, through bone and into the guts within. Not a mortal blow, not for a space marine, but a blow to end this now.
Truly.
Enough to wound, enough to leave a mark. But Sevatar was not there. An eye blink, and Sigismund felt his sword thrusting into space, pulling him
Damn.
forward as the chain staff whipped around, cutting across and up into his own midriff.
Oh.
He turned as the blow came at him, and went in close, guard high, as he read the spin of Sevatar's weapon. The two blades rang against each other. Cut after cut, as the sun rose and poured its rays through the veils of smoke. There had been cries and cheers at first. They had gone, replaced by silence. Cut and riposte, the two figures a spiral moving at the center of a circle. And for Sigismund it seemed as though time and place had gone, as though the sun arcing above
This was a
rotated
really-
around this moment.
This was a really,
And
like,
through
long
this
fight,
little
wasn't
world,
it?
Truth,
If I
and
recall.
lies, life and pain all found in the meeting of blades. A cut, a parry, the teeth of the chain glaive catching on the edge of the sword, enough to shear it wide, and the blur of the blow slicing into his
This
legs,
fight is the funniest.
and the step that would pull him back, sword
Hey,
rising,
Anthrax, how you doing, man?
thrusting into the
Good to see you
gap
here.
that would come. The glaive coming to meet his cut, the sound of the chain motor gunning to life for a second, so that the cutting teeth spun his sword as the weapons met. The sword pivoting in his grip, shrugging off the deflection to cut. One cut, one kill, true and simple. The first truth he had learned from the sword. True unless the sword would not find its mark. Unless the enemy was like Sevatar. Cruel and uncaring of ideals, and deadly, and as fast as a snap of lightning between the storm cloud and ground. One moment, one mistake and it would be over. They duelled in silence. At first Sigismund thought Sevatar would talk, would throw words with his blows, but he did not. He simply
Sevatar doesn't speak.
not with a sneer or a flourish, but with an intensity Sigismund had never felt. Focused yet boiling.
He wants to
Like
win,
the
dude.
waves of a black ocean. Like a storm that would never
It's not
pass.
fucking around.
From the moment their blades had locked, he had known that Sevatar would not fall quickly. So he had struck and struck. Each time sharpening the edge in his mind. Refining his feel for the timing of his opponent. Soon he would be able to make a single cut. A cut shaped like a key for a lock. And then this would be done. 1,000 cuts to create one. The sun was setting. Red and fire orange through thinning smoke. Another cut from
That's a
overhead.
pretty
Another
illustration
turn of
there.
his blade.
That looks really
Another
nice.
strike shearing off a parry. And there it was. Opening before him. As though it were not him wielding the weapon that would strike. Just observing it coming into being. He took a blow on his sword. Felt the force shudder through his grip.
Thus far, the fight has
Felt
gone
the
on
halberd
all
slide
day.
to the
Damn.
crossguard. Locked, and jerked the weapons for a second and then whined the blade. Turning it into an overhead cut that would smash down onto Sevatar's face.
And everyone's just still
Sevatar
watching.
knew what was
I guess how could you not? Like, damn.
Sigismund felt the realization.
No one
of an
expected
electric
it would go
shock
this
of
long.
Understanding passing between them, like a blast wave transmitted through water. He knew that in this moment he could not parry, could not bring the blade to strike. The eyes in Sevatar's faceplate were red coals in the dying light, caught in an unfolding instant that only they understood, brief and eternal. Sevatar dipped his head, and rammed the crest of his helm up into Sigismund's face, as a sword cut his faceplate, shattering the skull-plated ceramite and the red of an eye lens. Sigismund stepped back, spinning the sword into a guard. Sevatar retreated, pulling his helm from a bloody face. Sigismund could taste the iron on his own tongue. He felt the weight in his limbs now, rare for a space marine. He saw the scoring and chips on his armor. It was night. The light of a new dawn
Night
slipping
now.
above the
Holy
surrounding
shit.
mountains. The city was quiet. The fires were gone and the corpse's smoke fading from the air.
First blood to me.
Said Sevatar, grinning as his own blood ran down his face. You forfeit, Khold ran.
Perhaps.
Shrugged Sevatar.
But I didn't lose.
He took a step closer so that his words were a whisper between them.
Next time, brother. Remember that even if people start out with honor, no one ends that way.
He grinned again.
Take it from me.
Yeah, should he take it from you, Sevatar? You
The Night
greasy.
Lord departed Sharut.
Like what?
Brothers had shed each other's blood, but Sharut's stain would be shadowed.
Now,
by
Sevatar's
evil
cool, though.
greater
I like him.
crime.
I like him, but he is
Defiant
just
Sevatar.
he's not a good guy at all.
The war translations into Nostromo were violent. Men, servitors, and anything
I
not
cheated,
bolted
but this
down
is a
was
fight,
thrown
not a fancy
about.
game. True.
There had been deaths. Shang found his mark.
Lost the
on
battle,
Marley
won the
Temple.
war kind of thing.
Every
Mentality.
stone and metal in the temple was of umbral hue. Black light soaked the scene deeper into shadow.
Sev takes first blood,
making
yeah.
the faces of the Atramentar preparing
They
for
just
battle
fucking-
shine their natural colors, and their teeth gleam like alien jewels. Across the chamber, the first company was being attended to by hundreds of serfs, preparing them for battle. Power tools whined, and diagnostic instruments chimed, echoing high into the blue-black marble ceiling. The Atramentar glared at Shang, but pointed him to Bay 14. Sevatar was halfway through his armoring process. Already his legs were clad in multi-layered armored plates of plasteel and ceramite. Terminator plate, asked Shang. That is not your favored method of war. You are usually more subtle. I am master of the Atramentar, said Sevatar. Occasionally it suits me to fight with them, in their manner. We wouldn't want them to think I wasn't up to it. The Terminator chest
That's
plate
fair.
was guided home. Bonding plugs clicked into position, followed by a hiss of pressurizing feed lines. I assume you haven't come down here to comment on my choice of garb. What do you want, Shang? The Equerry turned his head left and right, taking in the frantic level of activity. Lord Kurz intends to go through with it, he said.
He
You
does.
think it would be otherwise, Shang? Said Sevatar. In fact, forget it. Here's another question for you instead. Why do you feel the
Whoa.
need to say such asinine things? I don't have time for your jibes, Diego, said Shang. Sevatar frowned.
You go.
Don't call me that. I'll call you what I damn well please, First Captain. I am Equerry to the Primarch. Look at this. Look at what we are doing. We are about to wage war in our own homeworld.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy,
Don't
isn't it?
embark.
It's actually insane to
But,
anyone
Lord
else.
Shang, I say not. This is why Lord Kurz favors me for this task. It is
Sev
down
made
to me
Siggy
to
doubt
ensure
himself.
the
That's
punishment
true.
of
He
the
did get in his
strong
head there
Kurz.
quite a bit.
It was clear to Sevatar
Actual
that
mind
Shang
games there,
believed
to
they
be
were
fair.
making a mistake. They were to condemn billions of innocents to death. Shang still held to his optimism. That Kurz could be brought back from the brink. Sevatar couldn't stand his naivety, his hypocrisy. Nostromo was rotten. This was simply the consequences. The cutting out of the rot feeding this legion of murderers and torturers.
That is crazy to
Sevatar
say.
did not hold back his scolding. He despised the confident face the Equerry presented to the Primarch, and the worrying grandmother he acted to the rest of the Legion. Shang was perhaps the only Night Lord to only generally admire his Primarch, and that admiration was weakness.
I see.
Shang was always certain until doubt took him, which is why Kurz would always prefer Sevatar's counsel. Sevatar had murdered his doubt. Nostromo would burn in the name of justice, just like every other world burned into compliance. What has got into you? Hissed Shang. You sound like a fanatic, Sevatar.
What do you mean?
This
We've
isn't your
always
way.
been this way.
The Sevatar I know is cynical.
Bro, they've always been this way. What are you talking about? You've been in the Night Lords, my guy. This isn't our way. What are you smoking? Bro, this has been exclusively our way. I don't think there's been a different way. Like, I don't see how this is a shock to you that we're willing to go through with this 100%. Like, this should just be like a Tuesday for you, honestly. I mean, you don't have to agree with the fact we're doing it to our home planet, but this isn't our way. Come on now. Come on now. Let's listen to ourselves here a little bit.
This isn't your way. The Sevatar I know is cynical. Cold. He wouldn't see the sense in any of this. What do you know about my way? Said
The
Sevatar.
highway. Whoa.
Nothing. Because it is the way of the strong.
Literally.
Sevatar, I haven't come to you because you are the first captain, said Shang in exasperation. I come to you because you're the only other warrior who holds our master in his heart, the way I do. The others are jackals, or disillusioned if they once had honor. I am not weak. I am the only one who's strong enough to see that the Primarch is ill, and to voice it openly. Shang spoke quickly. aware he had limited time to convince Sevatar. He's beginning to lose his mind. You can't see it yet, but I can.
Beginning to lose his mind?
On Sharut. The image of a frenzy-stricken, weeping cur still haunted Sevatar. He had nearly killed a brother, one trying to help him in the throes of a haunting vision. And now the Night Haunter had fled to his home, not to dig himself in like a burglar might, but to utterly destroy it.
Yeah.
In a manic episode of uncontrollable anger and desire for justice. To Shang, there were still facts to establish, an investigation to complete before passing judgment. Yet for Sevatar,
Judgment's already passed.
the death of
What do you mean?
Malthus and the wars ripping through the hive cities were
Come on
more
now.
than enough. In Shang, Sevatar saw the slow bureaucratic judgment of a trial that would let the criminals flee to commit their crimes in other worlds. In the eyes of Sevatar, Shang's words bordered on betrayal. Conrad Kurz is not mad, said Sevatar,
He's insane.
deadly, threat-filled certainty. The look in his eyes belied the tone of his voice. For the Emperor's sake, Sevatar, no one is more devoted to the Night Lord than I. Shang gritted his teeth. His frustration growled from his voxmeter. He is not in his right mind. He is deteriorating. You've seen the ways he keeps to himself now. The darkness of his mood. If we allow this madness to continue,
Didn't he always keep to
it will
himself?
accelerate this malady. There'll be no turning back from this. You have
I
no
mean, he
idea
never
what
was
he
much of a
sees.
people person.
None. Stop this now. I didn't think I would see the day.
He's not mad, he's merely eccentric? I
Shang
don't know about
introducing
that.
the noble lord. Shang took the cheap bait. Listen to what I'm saying. Shang looked around with his desperate eyes to the other hulking warriors. What do you say, Atramentar? This is
The Night Lord's wars had some of the smallest civilian fatalities in any other legion. Yeah, up to a point, up until the point where it was just kind of like, nah, we're gonna just also like keep people in our ships and hunt them for sport, and you know we're just gonna like torture people on the down low, and you know, also I feel like too, right, like out of those conquered worlds, like how much shit happened after the fact, you know, like how many like post invasion, how many fatalities happened, you know, because like there was like moderate levels of crime and suddenly like just extreme countermeasures have been deployed to negate that, you know. I don't know, it's hard to say.
your world. If your captain cannot see sense, perhaps
Initial
you will.
compliance, but my idea
Terminators
is like
remained unmoving.
after the fact.
They think what I tell them to think, said Sevatar, amusement playing around his lips. They are the most loyal to the Primarch's vision. That is why they are the Atramentar. A position of honor you have never held for yourself, for obvious reasons. Sevatar's serfs finished shutting him into his plate, driving the last bolt home, so that he was fully encased from the neck down. You are as insane as he is, said Shang. I am not, said Sevatar. I know what you are talking of. He is unstable, but he is not mad. And why are you doing this? Hissed Shang. Would you indulge me, Shang, by answering this simple question? The government of Nostramo has been usurped by criminals. The Hive Lords pay lip service to unity, whilst openly warring on each other. The streets are filled with screaming victims of violence. Misery is the sole experience open to the vast majority.
The solution is to nuke them with virus
bombs.
bombs.
Supplying our legion.
Like what?
This organization of the Emperor you hold in such high regard, with the worst examples humanity they can
It's a
find.
stain on the universe.
How? Asked Shang. How can the common people be held guilty for that? Oh, but they are, Sevatar replied. Mothers are glad their sons remain at home. Friends are relieved their gangmates are not taken. Those not worthy are pleased that those who should be recruited are not. This is a crime of the whole society. Do you not agree? Finally, Sevatar came to the truth of it. Is the society of Nostromo guilty or innocent? Shang did not answer, asking again for Sevatar to reconsider. Yet when pushed on the matter, he admitted Nostromo was guilty.
Damn.
A world so rotten to its core, it was the poison to the Legion.
So even he is like, yeah, this place is fucking awful. This place is disgusting. Like, it is just shit here. But, like, we can't burn it, right? But they're guilty. Yeah, but you're right. I understand that. But, like, at the same time, do they all deserve it? Everyone? Everyone deserves to get it? I don't know. That's... Yeah.
Rotten to
I don't
its
think
core,
so.
It was the poison to the Legion. The guilty deserve to be punished, said Sevatar. That is the one immutable fact of our civilization. For without punishment...
He actually understands the reason for the act. He can understand the reason for the act.
This is what our Gene Father teaches.
But the reason for the act is still kind
We
of
kill the
insane.
few that the many can live, whether they be strangers or our own families. The serf stepped back. The helm descended, swallowing Sevatar's head. Ave Dominus Nox. He growled through his suit of oximeters. Gurnoth, Karesh, remain with Lord Commander Shang until the verdict has passed upon the homeworld. He lifted his arms, testing the armor himself. Nothing escapes justice, Shang. Nothing should. The two
Why so much apology for the sci-fi uber terrorists?
Standing either side.
Yeah, like that's kind of how I feel. These guys are bad, dude. I listen.
You are so clearly
I understand, but
what
no.
is just and what is not.
No.
In a single command, the Night Haunter ordered the annihilation of his homeworld. His declaration was met with stunned silence. Then the Vox burst with life. Several ships refused to obey the order, but their defiance was too late. The planet's defensive orbitals went first. The defensive lasers on the surface attempted to fire, but it was short-lived. Ship Mistress Ganesh was refused by her crew, and her own armsmen turned against her, even the lone Night Lord on the bridge. Illithen refused to act against the mutiny. Sevatar and two Atramentar teleported aboard the ship's bridge, demanding to know why they were not firing. When Ganesh reported the mutiny, she was relieved of duty with a single bolt round. Illithen, the lone legionary, too refused. His eyes start tearing away from the bloom fire tearing his home apart. Sevatar called him. His first 3 mass reactors hammered into Illithen's chestplate, detonating without penetration. Illithen's aim was thrown wide, spraying out half a magazine of shots into the bridge.
Oh my god.
Sevatar's 4th bolt punched clean through the center of his chest, obliterating both his heart and killing him instantly.
Holy shit.
Silence reigned for a fraction of a second.
Dude.
Sevatar saw the armsman's intent.
And like, look at the mass amount of mutinies, even amongst like the Night Lords. Like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, like, that just goes to show you, like, everyone, like, even Night Lords, civilians on their ships, auxiliaries on their ships, it was, like, split, like, fully. Everyone's like, this is completely radical, right? Like, there's been no say. It's just the Night Lord saying, let's do this. He hasn't consulted with anybody. It's not like the Imperium has put a hit out on this planet, like, this planet needs to die. Like, it's a compliant planet. This is an Imperium planet, and they're blowing it up for no reason other than Mr. Conrad has a grudge. Like, quite simply. Like, damn, dude. It's rough. It's rough.
Intentions to fire before they knew they were going to do it themselves. That is a regrettable move, he said, as gunfire erupted again. Sevatar watched Nostromo's death from the Shadowed Blade, the 3rd vessel he had to bring to heal. Dozens of legionaries and thousands of mortals had died across the 50-strong fleet. Nostromo Quintus was ablaze from root to tip. Quintus had been Sevatar's and the Primarch's home. Close to the fault line Kurz had made when his gestation pod had crashed into Nostromo. There was a weakness. There it all had begun, and here the Night Lords had poured their fury into. Sevatar had seen planets die before, and considered it eerily beautiful. Nostromo should have been different. It was the world where he was born. His family, his people, all came from those Hive City slums. His first tutoring, his first gang warfare, his first election into the Hastatis. Sevatar wondered how the other Nostromans in the Legion felt, staring at the pyre of their home.
A lot of them probably not
He wondered
great.
if they experienced the stirrings of hatred towards their Primarch, or felt sorrow at the world's passing. He wondered these things because he felt nothing. Nostromo had erred, and it had been punished. And for many nights to come, he would hear the cries of the dead.
Damn.
Nostromo was a graveyard.
Did he get,
His people and cities.
is he a little
floating
haunted by
corpses
that? A
of
little
asteroids in
PTSD
space,
perhaps?
and the Legion would be damned for it. The fleets of the newly raised War Master Horus burst into real space, alongside elements of the Salamanders and Imperial Fists. The horror of what the Eighth had done, falling on deaf ears with a tormented curse. To terror the Legion was dragged. Before the Emperor, the chastisement began. They had failed. They disgusted him
No.
for completing an act they had been doing for a century. Sevatar and the Legion felt it. The condemnation for tactics the Emperor and the Terran Council were all too happy to ignore. When world upon world had been brought into compliance, where had this sudden self-righteousness been? Into the fringes of space.
Because they're already
the
with you,
Legion
dude.
lived, embittered and enraged. After years of isolation, he had come to them, the War Master Horus. Sevatar heard his words, that the Emperor is a liar. He has lied about the war. He has gifted the success of the Great Crusade to mortal humans and bureaucrats. That one day he will purge his sons and legions, for a future where he ascends to godhood. Sevatar saw the look on
So
his
people of
father's face,
Nostromo, do you really care they
as
are
if
being
the
made an
events
example of?
transpiring were no
I feel like, yeah, because like, again, like, sure, there's a lot of bad people on Nostromo, but there's still gotta be some good people here and there. And there's still a lot of innocents, like a lot of people that just have nothing to do with the bad shit that's going on and are just merely trying to make it or have a life themselves, right? Like, again, it's one thing to make an example, but to make an example out of an entire fucking planet, regardless of who's on it, like there's no vetting being done, there's no nothing. It's just massacre everybody. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. We understand why Purdy did the same thing to his planet. I don't know. I mean,
I saw the look on his father's face, as if the events transpired.
I don't know if planet killing under any circumstance is okay, though.
Brimming
That's the
with
thing.
resentment, the Eighth Legion pledged
Well,
itself
obviously-
to the War Master.
To an extent on that, of course, to an extent. In this case, planet killing was just not necessary. Like, in this case, it was 100% just unnecessary for Conrad to do this. That's just true, I feel like.
Brimming with resentment,
Without
The
doing
Eighth
it,
Legion
without any
pledged
sort of
itself to the
consideration,
War Master,
without notifying
and
anyone.
prepared for the war with a
Just, we're doing this.
Burn.
Okay.
Sevatar joined his Primarch.
Went about it in a
with
very,
fidelity
very
lengths,
poor way, I feel like.
as it hung above the world of Isfahan 5. Upon Isfahan 3, Horus had massacred the loyalist elements of his legion, declaring civil war as warp storms began to ravage the galaxy. At the head of a retribution force, 7 legions roared towards Isfahan 5 to destroy the sons of Horus, Emperor's children, World Eaters, and Death Guard. With the Ironhand
Hey, Che, how you doing?
joined by the Raven Guard and Salamanders in the first wave. The Night Lords
Emperor
took their
Salamis
place
trolls
in
and
the
nothing
second,
more? Conrad
joined by
didn't
the
care at
World
all?
Bearers
Yeah.
Iron Warriors, and Alpha Legion.
Yeah, work Anthrax, no
Legion's
problem, man,
true
no problem.
loyalty was to the traitor Warmaster. Primarch Lorgar Aurelian stood at the head of the host. They were the forgotten, the betrayed and the misled, all united as traitors forged by their pact against the Emperor of Mankind. Argyltal of the Wordbearers offered his hand to Sevatar.
Argyltal!
The first captain took it, uttering the words that would ring throughout the millennia to come. Death to the false Emperor. The battle within the Ugal Depression was brutal beyond imagination. Hundreds of thousands of Hastatis fought their once friends, as 3 loyalist legions were surrounded by the second wave. Teleporting deep into the Raven Guard lines, the betrayal was revealed, as Sevatar and the Atramentar began reaping a bloody toll. Pinned down and surrounded, the Raven Guard and their Primarch fought desperately. The Primarch
Deep night right now, but it's a war machine, so I'm here.
eventually
Yeah,
succumbed to the
I
Raven's lightning
appreciate
claws,
that, man. It's good to have you here.
until a matching pair halted the final blow. Black eyes stared into each other, as the Raven Lord was forced to retreat. What had begun as a brutal battle ended in a field of choking dead. They had their victory, yet the disgust could not be kept from Sevatar's face at the sight of the Wordbearers and Emperor's children. He could sense it. The warp was within them, and these new gods they called Chaos mutated their forms into sight that even surprised Sevatar. When Argyltal approached him in the ashes and
Come on,
blood-soaked
Sevatar, don't back out now, you little
Sevatar
bitch.
spat at his feet.
Oh,
He did not respect their corrupted forms,
damn.
even if they fought on the same side.
Disgust
The
me.
black sands of Islam
Pigs.
5. The fraternity of the Hastatis was broken forever. For 3 loyalist legions, it was already too late. The Raven Guard, Salamanders,
That's a
and
cool
Ironhand
illustration
were utterly
too.
Shattered,
That's a really cool
driven
illustration.
away from Isfahan completely. The Imperium would be broken. Worlds would have to pick a side. Either death to the false Emperor or annihilation. Warp storms cut off entire sectors, and loyalist legions were scattered. The galaxy would burn until Horus took his rightful place on the throne of terror. Isfahan 5 was a graveyard. Brothers, friends and comrades betrayed, as a traitor legion set out to burn the entire galaxy from the galactic rim to terror itself. The Wordbearers had begun their ambush at Kalth, later joined in their Shadow Crusade by the World Eaters. The Alpha Legion began their Shadow War, as the Death Guard, Emperor's children, Iron Warriors and Sons of Horus reconquered the empire they had built. Every
They
world
left
they
out
broke
Sev's
was one step
everlasting
closer to
quote.
reaching the throne. And
Maybe
cleaving
it's
the Emperor's
copyrighted.
head from his shoulders.
I don't know.
The fleets of the 8th Legion began their sail, this war bringing them to the Thramas sector, and began to strike at Lionel Johnson and his Dark Angels. A bitter guerrilla war erupted as mortals, Astartes and even 2 Primarchs bled each other dry over Thramas, as the years began to pass.
Even Chaos
all
Gods
their
didn't even
ambushes.
try to convert Conrad.
Even when Kurz had defeated the
He was so insane that Warp Entities decided, nah, we don't want that guy.
That the tide
Well, he's too unstable. Either he's self-interested, like, because he'll just act on his own fucking accord, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you can corrupt him because he's just like, you know, like, he is the ultimate form of justice, quote unquote. But I don't know if he's corruptible in that sense because he literally has fucking a mental illness, it seems like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, the dude is just... he's in his own world. He's just losing himself already, dude.
to the line in their first clash, it became clear to Sevatar that the tide had begun to shift.
They gave one look at him and said, I don't want to touch
Sevatar
that.
and
Yeah.
Shadow stood, mirroring
Like, that's a
their
fucking
dark
accident
angel
waiting to
counterparts.
happen if I mess
Their
with that.
Primarchs had come to the surface of a dead world.
I will
Later
get
coined
backstabbed
as
in some way or another.
Brahmin tongue. The Lion, Primarch of the First, raised his blade in salute, following his traitorous brother Kurz for a conversation the Night Haunted had dared to allow. For 3 years, the Thramas Crusade had burned the entire sector of Imperial space. Yet only now, the brothers met face to face. The two Night Lords had no need to introduce themselves, for their identities were known throughout the million-strong ranks of the Legiones Hastatis. Both wore helms with painted skull faceplates. Both bore armor trophies of oversized skulls and Dark Angels' helms, hanging from their war plate on bronze chains.
Damn, dude.
And both stood at ease, watching the warriors from the First Legion through red eye lenses. One of them leaned on the haft of a long halberd, a weapon he was renowned for. The other held a bolter at rest, a cloak of black weave draped over one shoulder and down his back.
You look familiar.
The first warrior spoke. He nodded his head towards
They looked at him and said,
Alejos.
we don't actually need to do
We met
anything
at
here.
Kyruu,
He's a
did we
monster
not?
as it is. Yeah.
Alejos' voice
Basically,
barely rose
dude.
above a growl. Aye, we did.
He's already doing it.
Yes.
He's already spreading chaos.
I recall the moment
Just by
now.
existing.
The Night Lord chuckled, whisper soft, and mimed a two-handed chop with his halberd. The deactivated chain blade atop the spear's haft was over a meter long, grinning in its still teeth.
I'm surprised you survived, Angel. It was careless of me to allow that. How's the face?
Causeway moved to rest his hand on his brother's bolter. He spoke over their helm box, so that the Night Lords wouldn't hear.
Be calm, Captain. Don't let him wound you with childish words.
Alejos nodded. He spoke as Causeway moved away. It has healed well. Your flawed carving did sting for several minutes afterwards, though.
That's good news. It is wise of you to wear your helm this time, cousin. The last time I saw your face, most of it was a wet ribbon of flayed flesh stuck to the
dude.
ground beneath my feet. My brothers in the First Company enjoy the tale, for it was the first time I've started to skin an angel while he was still alive.
Alejos grunted in reply, his hands faintly twitching with a need to raise his bolter and open fire. I will kill you, Sevatar. On my life, I swear it.
Cousin. I
Oh.
outrank you, do I not? That's first Captain Sevatar to you, little angel.
Peace, brother. Vengeance will come, and be all the sweeter for this moment.
Causeway voxed. This time, the cloaked warrior spoke. You, angel in the fur, do you know me? Causeway turned to them both. He felt the wind pick up, ruffling the white fur cloak around his shoulders. The skinned animal you wear as a trophy. I've never seen such a thing. What manner of creature is that?
It's the beast that never dies in my dreams.
What does that mean?
Is that some crude Calibanite poetry?
Yeah, like
We
literally.
have few poets in our homeworld,
Andrew, explain
but
this.
their works would have made you weep.
You
Our tongue
know.
lends itself to melodic prose very
These are your
gracefully.
people. You let me know.
Nach Silshar, Vovoren, Kalshiel.
Causeway said, in fluent Nostraman. Shang and Sevatar shared another laugh.
Your accent is brutal, but that was nicely done. It will be a shame to kill you both when the time comes. You have my oath here, on 8th Legion soil, that we will make trophies from your helms. You deserve nothing less.
How comforting.
Causeway chuckled with them.
There was a
I have a
Calibanite.
question of my own.
Hold on. He basically where was it here? Let's go back. What was it?
Grinned.
It's the beast that never
Yeah, it's in regards to like his white like beast cape here. It's the beast that
Dies
never
in my
dies in my
dreams.
dreams. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? What's he talking about? Is he just like cracking some joke? The Lion of Caliban? Could be. We'll go back to here.
Said, in fluent Nostraman. Shang and Sevatar shared another laugh.
Your accent is brutal, but that was nicely done. It will be a shame to kill you both when the time comes. You have my oath here, on 8th Legion's soil, that we will make trophies from your helms. You deserve nothing less.
How comforting.
Corswain chuckled with them.
I have a question of my own.
We are at your service, cousins.
Sevatar performed a mock.
It's a line that he sees in his dreams. His death is how he interprets it.
Corswain
Okay.
said, and left it at that. Sevatar held up his free hand.
So he sees it as like an omen in a sense.
The halberd with the other. The gauntlet was at odds with his midnight armor. Where the warplate
It's kind of like he's wearing like a Reaper's cloak in a sense.
With streaks of lightning. Its gauntlets were painted arterial red.
A mark of shame in our legion.
The Night Lord's voice still betrayed more amusement than regret.
A warrior's gauntlets are marked this way when he has failed the Primarch, gravely enough to warrant death. He will wear the stain of failure on his hands until his execution, at the hour of the Primarch's choosing.
He sees it as merely
Corswain
life that
watched
he
the
must
enemy
fight
captain
against
through the filter the
for
rest
as
of
long
the
as he
target
can.
logs.
Okay.
A curious custom.
It's just how it is. He accepts it kind of
Is
thing.
hiding your armor beneath cloth robes.
Corswain felt himself grinning again. Sevatar nodded.
A knightly tradition from our homeworld.
This is a gang tradition from ours. The hands of traitors and fools were tattooed red by their families to show them as death-marked. A sign that no gang or family would tolerate grave failure, but that the condemned still had labors to perform before they were allowed to die.
So which are you? A traitor or a fool?
The Night Lord's voice revealed his own smile, even if his soulless helm did not.
Both.
Forgive me, brother.
Kurz tilted his head.
For what?
Corswain was watching both Primarchs.
I'm here to break
Yet
your
still
spine,
never saw
dude.
what happened. Such was the speed of the lion's movements. One moment the two brothers were speaking. The lion's features cast down in contemplation. Kurz's eyes fever bright as he promised an ignoble fate. The next, Kurz's features twisted into a taunt rictus of pain,
Oh,
blood running between his clenched teeth. The lion held tight the grip of his blade, buried to the hilt in his brother's stomach.
Jesus.
More than a meter of shining, bloodstained steel thrust from the back of Kurz's armor.
For such a dishonorable blow.
The lion whispered into Kurz's pale,
Damn.
face.
That's cold as fuck. That's actually cold as fuck. I'm sorry, brother. Looks up. For what? Fucking impaled? For such a dishonorable blow. Fucking like, damn. That's cold as fuck.
The lion whispered into Kurz's pale, bleeding face.
I do not care who knows the truth now, tomorrow, or in 10,000 years. Loyalty is its own reward.
The lion pulled his sword free. The Night Lord fell back, and at the same moment, the chain blade atop Sevatar's halberd snarled to life. Above Sheol 9, the hulking vessel
Is it
of the First
dishonorable?
Legion
No,
burst
no.
from
And I
the
also
ambush,
don't care because it happened to
tearing the
Conrad.
Night Lord's fleet
It's just funny
apart.
that Conrad just
With a near
fucking...
quarter-
There was no fight there. There was no, like, parry. There was no, like, back and forth. It was just straight up, like... Oh, what's going on? Like... It was just straight up, like, the lion enters the room, fucking makes eye contact with Conrad. Conrad looks at him. Conrad gets fucking destroyed. Like, straight up. There was no, like... There was no back and forth. It was just, like, complete decimation. And I appreciate that, you know? The lion is god tier. Pretty much. Like, I don't know if anyone is a better fighter than him, honestly. Like, Jagatai maybe, but I don't know. He's up there.
ambush, tearing the Night Lord's fleet apart, as a near quarter of the Legion began to perish in mere minutes. Sevatar took command, launching out defensive strikes, doing everything in his power to prevent his Legion's destruction. The Night Lords were ruthless murderers.
That's my daddy. Loyalty
Embodying
is its
everything
own
meant to
reward.
be a
Holy
Lord
shit.
of the night. But the Dark Angels, they
Sorry
were
for
the
this
true
stab.
embodiment of what it meant to be an
Casual
angel of
impalement.
death. The true Primarchs had clashed again, with the Lord of the First nearly bludgeoning his gaunt brother to the grave. An entire company died dragging their broken lord back. And now their Primarch was on the edge of death. The Legion's fleets had been scattered. The vacuum of power was a chasm, and one that needed to be filled. The Cryptera, the chosen of Kurz, gathered in the dim-lit strategium. Of the 7 members, only Sevatar, Selharek, Var-Jahan.
Connor goes
And the
crazy in this
Lethal
fight.
still
It ends up in a draw that the troops have to drag
Sevatar
away from each other.
entered
Oh,
last,
okay, okay.
placing his chain glaive upon the table. As the others stared wearily, 2 of the 3 voices cried for vengeance, to regroup the Legion and throw themselves back into the heat of battle.
He was heavily
So
wounded there as
many
well.
pretty
Okay. It
words.
wasn't a straight up
Yet they all
decimation.
missed the point.
That's fair. That's fair.
The Legion is better
I
suited
think it's
to the
funnier if it
shadows.
was though. Just Conrad
Until we
gets
are ready to
fucking
strike
annihilated
from
straight
force.
off the bat.
Then we butcher, then we taste their blood. The angels just taught us a stern lesson in the foolishness of gathering together in one place and trying to engage them in a fair fight. Sevatar leaned on a support pillar, crossing his arms over his chestplate as he continued. I'll be absolutely clear. Since you are all so reluctant to
Lion's
take the
basically
aim,
the Arthur Dane of Warhammer
I
40k.
will not let you take the
Khan
Legion
is the
back
worst
into
worst
this war
fighter.
after such a crippling defeat. That's all there is to it.
Connor
I
is
will
just
take
insane
the
enough to basically
Agamemnon,
spam attack.
along with
Okay.
any of the companies that choose to stand
Okay.
with me and rejoin the war.
So the way to describe it would be like the Lion would be like Arthur Dane, and so Khan would be like Barristan Selmy, kinda, like in terms of like class. Like I don't know if Selmy is better than Dane. I think Dane is probably better, honestly. Just saying. I don't know. That might be a wrong take. Selmy is fucking goated too, though. It's hard to say. Kinda, yeah, okay. Like you know what I mean. Like obviously Barristan Selmy, different fighting style, whatever have you, of course. But like in terms of like the ranking, you know what I mean. You get what I'm feeling. And then Sanguinius would be kind of like a Jaime Lannister almost. Like literally is what it would be.
War Master's fleet. There is nothing more we can do here. And I say that delaying the Dark Angels for more than 3 years is long enough. I am finished with the Thramas Crusade. I am taking my company to Terra. I plan to see the real war before the final day dawns. The rest of the Legion should come with me. I may lose my temper.
Never thought a Song of Fire and Ice would be mixed with Warhammer, but here we are. Gotta link it somehow, you know?
My weapon is
Rankings.
all the way over there. The Cryptera grumbled.
Yeah,
And only when the
to
first captain
be fair, yeah, I didn't think I'd be comparing fucking Lionel Johnson to Arthur Dane, but here we are. Yeah, it's so true.
over there. The Cryptera grumbled, and only when the first captain left did they voice their open treachery. A squad of Atramentar Terminators teleported into the room. Malithos and Selharek were slaughtered in seconds. Var-Jahan the only one still to draw breath. Sevatar liked the fat he'd caught on, and almost escaped. It amused him. Why did you kill them?
Why not?
Var-Jahan moved, so his back wasn't facing the Atramentar. Why did you want us dead? Fratricide, brother. Has it really come to this?
Yes.
We came to this the moment you 3 fools decided it was best to kill the Legion.
Oh.
Simply to expunge some imaginary stain in our imaginary honor. But the preparation, Var-Jahan wheezed. I had a feeling the Crypteria would need reorganizing. I was right. You killed them because they disagreed with you. Sevatar, are you insane? The first captain gave a subtle shrug. So I am often told.
As a fox.
What matters is that the Legion needs the Crypteria now more than ever. And we will not lead our
Holy
legion
shit.
back onto the Dark Angel's blades.
Sevatar, are you insane?
Sevatar's hand was at his throat before the sentence could end. The first captain lifted him, slamming him back against the wall. Do I look like I care what the War Master wants of me? Sevatar's skull faceplate bore into Var Jahan, with his crimson eye lenses. We never cared what the Emperor wanted of us. Why should we waste our lives?
Jagetai managed to banish the demon Primarch without the Emperor's shield.
The War Master's tune.
Lioness failed to kill Kurz and beat Oengron only due to the
Walking
shield.
back into the chamber.
That's reasonable, honestly.
Has leashed us for
That is
3
reasonable.
years. I am done with obedience.
Like, Jagetai
The
might
abyss
genuinely be
horrors
better.
of
It's hard to
arrogant
say.
winds. He is no
It's close.
better than the Emperor. Sevatar thought he would feel something. Staring at the
You insane? Is that a rhetorical question? Like, yeah, like what kind of crazy dialogue there? Asking Sevatar, are you insane? Like, deadpan to his face, are you fucking crazy? What do you expect the answer to be to that? Like, bruh.
Staring at the mutilated body of his father. He caught a glance at the Primarch's severed throat, the flesh knitting in ragged cohesion.
Can we watch Chaos God speak to Talos after this?
There was something raw and primal in the scent. Something
Only
beyond
5
the
minutes?
smell
Yeah, we
of
can see
human
about that.
life.
We can see about that. Remind me when we're
To
close.
Sevatar, such emotion was
Close to the
beyond
end.
him. He'd never mourned anything or anyone. He knew others did. His brothers cried at this moment. He knew the Luda Wolves did the same when Horus was injured. And on Isfahan, he'd fought Ironhands, overcome with grief and rage at the death of Ferris. But yet his father, Conrad Kurz, the Night Haunter, could die right before him, and Sevatar wasn't sure he cared. The Primarch's personal archivist voxed the first captain. Sevatar moved to Kurz's personal sanctum. The room was filled with corpses and scenes of horrific crimes to make even Sevatar uncomfortable.
Crazy.
He questioned why the archivist wanted him to come. You have never understood the man you serve, the mortal had said, without looking up from his work. None of his warriors ever have. Does that not seem like a risible flaw to you, Yago? Yago, thought the first captain.
Yo, yo.
My name is Sevatar.
What up, biatch?
Indeed, indeed. Trez smoothed his thinning white hair back from his cratered features, arranging a piece of parchment on the desk until it was placed so. He read the words on the cream-colored paper, between rebreather wheezes. Yago Sevatarian, born in City's Edge, first captain of the 8th Legion, commander of the Atramentar, officer of the Crypteria, also known by the name Sevatar the Condemned, and... Trez snorted, shaking his head, and by the rather amusing title, Prince of Crows. Sevatar removed his helm, with a snap hiss of air pressure venting from unlocked collar seals. He breathed in the chamber's abattoir smell, his expression thoughtful. I'm not sure I like your tone. The last man to sneer at me like that soon wished he hadn't. Little archivist. Oh. Trez
You
looked
threatening me?
up. Curiosity writ plain across his weathered visage. And who might that have been? I don't recall his name. I was given to understand all warriors of the Legiones Astartes were gifted with eidetic recall. A hololithic memory, if you will, said Trez. We are, Sevatar admitted.
I just didn't
never
care to
asked
ask.
his name.
Yeah.
I was rather preoccupied with skinning him alive at the time. Now tell me what you want from me, Trez. I doubt you've mistaken me for someone framed with the virtue of patience. The old man's grin showed a blunt arsenal of age-darkened teeth. You'll need patience if you wish to lead this legion, said Trez. Sevatar laughed, drawing the
I don't know if that's true. Conrad
meaty
doesn't.
scent of
And it's working just fine for him.
into his lungs.
Just saying.
Even you are sure Lord Kurz will die. Even you, his devoted little ape creature, have given him up as dead. Whatever will you do once you can no longer eat the mud from our master's boots, Trez? It would grieve me to see you starve to death. The archivist went back to his parchments, still smiling into his rebreather. I know your secret, Jaego. I have no secrets, Sevatar replied. Trez ran his fingertips over the Nostraman lettering, his fingers following the flows of inked words. He told me, Jaego. He tells me everything. Sevatar tilted his head, black eyes unblinking. Why do you hide from slumber, First Captain? Why do you force yourself to remain awake for weeks on end?
Damn.
Why, if you have no secrets, do you wake up with cold blood flowing through your pounding heart on the rare nights you surrender to sleep? Sevatar's hand lashed out, choking the man. Yes, he knew what he spoke of, and he didn't need the help of a pathetic psyker like him. Sevatar released the old man, eventually, letting him choke on his hubris. Sevatar reached for his helmet as he walked away. I don't need your help. Trez cleared his throat. It isn't working anymore, is it? The training, the meditation. You can't hold the pain inside the way you once could. Sevatar didn't even look back. You know nothing, human. You're lying, Jaego.
Sees him as like immediately worse, as less. Damn, dude.
His voice was a vox-altered snarl. I am the
Put it in the
son
video
of the
recommendations?
sunless
Okay,
world,
okay.
An 8th Legion to my
Appreciate
core.
that.
Of course I'm lying, Trez. It's what we do. Within a chamber aboard the ruined Nightfall,
Every legion needs a
Captain
hobby. The Night Lords make leather garments and pun
Koresh,
babies, dude.
Torvak Tor, Naraka,
Sons in the room separate them.
Shal and Var Jahan stood, each in turn voicing their surprise at Sevatar's summoning. When they had first met, Sevatar wanted to ensure there be no lies amongst the new council. A mere third of the Legion had regrouped. The rest were still scattered or dead. Var Jahan commanded the 27th Company, a Terran-born and skilled tactician who Sevatar deeply liked, although he had no idea why. Next was Nakra the Bloodless of the 13th Company, a warrior with a dark history that was even hidden from other legions and most of their own. But Sevatar knew of it and respected him for it. Torvak Tor of the 114th, known as the Lackhand. He joined the Legion alongside Sevatar. Both came from the same gang, and Lackhand did so while being born with only one hand.
Damn.
Captain Orpheon of the 39th. He had failed to distinguish himself beyond the other captains, but he was a solid frontline commander, and even one of the few Night Lords who could be considered brave. Surprisingly useful, Sevatar thought. Koresh had earned his position by killing his previous commander, the
Hog.
last of their gathering, Alastar Ushal, a Terran veteran of the Raven Guard, a prisoner of Sevatar from the killing fields of Isfahan,
Damn.
one broken and reformed by Sevatar's personal hand.
What the hell?
He stood alone and unmarked. Sevatar nodded to Alastar, before addressing the group as one. You will help me lead this broken legion. You are now the Crypteria of the Night Lords. Any questions? Several of the others exchanged glances. In the corner, Trez's rebreather hid his smile. Torvak was the one to actually speak. That's your greeting? That's how you welcome us? Yes.
Brave Night Lord's definitely a fake, dude. He's an Alpha Legionary. He's an Alpha Legionary, and he just can't play pussy, and for as well as the Night Lords can, and that's saying something for an Alpha Legionary, who can't fit in as well as like who can't be as big of a bitch as the Night Lords. Isn't that crazy? Damn, dude. Damn.
Yes.
Seen it coming a mile away. That's all I'm saying.
Did you expect?
And they got him during Isfan. 100% Alpha Legionary. 100%. Position of command. Help me lead the Legion.
Then why do you sound disappointed?
Too easy. Mile away,
Sevatar
dude.
tilted his head. Any real questions? I have one, said Orphean. His face was a mess of recent stitches and skin grafts. Why us? Because the rest of the Criteria are dead, with Var Jahan and myself the only survivors. Sevatar replied. Obviously. But how did they die? Orphean asked.
I killed them all.
The Dark Angels killed some of them. I killed the rest. Or rather, the Atramentar killed them. Because I asked them to. Orphean snorted, not even remotely surprised. But why us? Orphean asked. Sevatar watched the other captains in silence for several moments. You are a very suspicious man, Orphean.
Yeah, I think he has a right to be fair.
Sevatar saw no harm in the truth. You are all variously loyal to me. Intelligent, reliable, trustworthy, and divorced from the weakness of human compassion. The Legion needs leadership. It needs us. Then I'll be the one to say it. Koresh gestured a gauntleted hand at Alastair, his skullish face locked into a sneer. Why is the Raven here? He leads no company. He commands no men. He cannot be one of the Cryptera. He can, because I say he can. Unless the Primarch rises and countermands my order, the Ravens stand with us. Now to business. Sevatar called up the hololithic display again. What you're looking at, brothers, is over a third of the Legion's fleet. I've had contact with the other mustering points at Yakresh, Taur, and Sotha. The casualty figures are on the wrong side of Hilarious. Don't keep us in suspense, Var Jahan grunted. The Dark Angels destroyed just over 25% of the fleet in their ambush. They killed a quarter of the Legion in 3 hours.
That's
The
crazy.
new Cryptera exchanged glances. None of them wished to say anything, leaving Sevatar
We're
to
fucked.
continue. It's only been 2 weeks. There may be 7 dozen vessels still in the war, or caught away from the fallback points. But the confirmed casualties alone are grievous. Every shipmaster saw the other vessels die. Collating that list shows a fifth of the Legion dead in the void, or on the surface of Sheol. So, Sevatar turned back to his brothers. The question now
Teleporting
is,
battleships are quite useful
What's
for
the-
ambush. Yeah, literally.
revenge, said Var Jahan.
Damn,
Vengeance
dude.
against the angels. Don't make me kill you as well. Sevatar bit. Revenge against the First Legion will be a fool's crusade. I am striving to make this as democratic as possible, but don't try my patience.
Damn, dude.
Koresh tapped his knuckles on the hololithic table. What of the Primarch? Still in a coma, replied Var Jahan. Aboard the excoriator. What is the meaning of? Nakra gave the vaguest of waves at the bodies hanging all around. Of all of this. This.
Why not?
said Sevatar,
This is my
is
art.
the result of our Primarch's little telepath no longer doing his job.
Ugh.
Isn't that right, Trez?
Jesus.
The old man blinked, sucking in a gulp of oxygen through his face mask, as the 7 warriors slowly turned to face him. His stammered attempt at a response went nowhere. It barely even left his lips. The Sin Eater is failing us, asked Nakra. So it would seem, replied Sevatar. My lords, Trez swallowed. We are my lords now, Sevatar chuckled. I was as Jaego earlier. My lords, please. Before the ambush, Lord Kerr's dreams were becoming too poisoned. Too dark. I struggled to purge them of the pain. Koresh stood closer to the wizened archivist. His cadaverous visage stared down at the man.
Is he about to get...
your duties, little psyker?
I feel like he's about to get
Trez
done
begged
here,
for
dude.
his life, and the new crypteria almost took it.
No?
Until Sevatar waved them off.
Oh, really? They're gonna leave him alive?
Leave me. Sevatar barked.
Yeah, I'm surprised as shit. I thought he was done for
Clear
sure.
the apothecary.
100% there, but he
I want every
weaseled
soul
out.
gone. Captain, the apothecary tried to
Lucky
say,
man, lucky man.
Sevatar
Wait,
cut
what?
him off.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly.
I have an idea that
They're like
we've ruined.
surrounding him, like cracking their knuckles and shit. Like, oh yeah, dude, fucking licking their lips. Like, my lords, wait, please, please, mercy. They actually let him off. Like, bro, holy shit, he got really lucky there.
Back. Sev, I have to stay. You can't expect me to leave. I expect you to do as I order. Sevatar softened the demand with a hand. on
Wonder
the
how
man's
full his
shoulder
pants
arm.
are. Yeah, dude.
And I expect you
Completely.
to trust me.
It's a good thing they're all wearing their helmets.
Begrudgingly, the three apothecaries all left. So, this is why you have brought me, the archivist said. His voice echoed hollowly around the empty room. Kurz lay still on the apothecary's table. His frame, usually hunched, gave an animal-like quality, but now it looked even worse to Sevatar's eyes. The bitter duels with the lion, the strain of commanding a guerrilla void campaign across the length and breadth of the Eastern Fringe for 3 years had taken their toll, even upon a mind already debilitating. He was not created for this type of war, even though he excelled at it. No, he was a justicar, a judge, a man born to look traitors and thieves in the eyes as he delivered their sentence. And now, what had he become? A general, an admiral, a monster even. A war leader buried beneath logistics and tactical displays, cast out to languish with his sons at the far end of the galaxy. Worse, he was a traitor now himself. Sevatar had seen his Primarch's desperation.
Kidding,
As a
wanna know?
generation, there was one last chance. A path that required him to step into the secret shame of his existence. This will probably kill you, Yago. Sevatar nodded to Trez's words.
There's no probably.
I know. The
I'm
archivist
trying to
sucked
kill
in a
you.
wet breath. You have the strength for this, but not the control. I know, Sevatar said again. But I have to try. I don't want him to die, Sevatar said with surprise. He looked down at his crimson gauntlets, painted as evidence of his sins, or his sins yet to come. I failed him once already. I won't let it happen twice. Trez sighed. 2 droplets of condensed breath specking on the inside of his rebreather. There's no going back from this. If you unlock the gift you fought so hard to forget, some doors cannot be closed. Sevatar was barely listening now. I already struggled to restrain it, he said.
You don't
His
want him
voice
to die,
barely carried
meanwhile,
over
Conrad. I will soon die. Yoo-hoo. Yeah, dude.
Will you help me?
Yeah, little does he
I'll
know.
do this alone. The old man limped over
Oh,
a
no.
creaking spine. and
Too bad
shins
it's all
into
for
legs.
nothing.
He reached out with a hand
Oh,
right
man.
at the liver spots and the tremors of flaring arthritis, and closed his knuckly fingers around the back of Sevatar's red gauntlets. The first captain lowered his hand, resting his fingertips on his father's forehead. You said he wasn't dreaming, Trez. Sevatar spoke aloud, dead-voiced and staring at nothing. You were wrong. Nostromo, painted in the brush strokes of hazy memory. The mad Primarch dreamed of doom, or the first time he saw the Emperor of Mankind. He saw his brothers, Rogel Dawn, Lorgar Aurelian, Ferris, Manus, and Fulgrim, all there surrounded by their sons in a crowd of people perfectly frozen in time. The Night Haunter turned, seeing a figure clad in ceramite the colors of clean midnight. The armor plates cracked by painted lightning.
Sev has been a psyker the whole time. That's kind of what I thought.
Watching in silence.
That's kind of what I thought. It's pretty... They're pretty alluding to it, you know, with like the constant like headaches, the unnatural foresight, like the sixth sense, spidey sense they mentioned during the start of it. I kind of figured he was going to be a psyker. It's just like... I feel like he definitely could have done more with it earlier. He always tried to like hide it, and I guess on Nostromo, yeah, if anyone knew, like he'd probably be like lynched for lack of a better word. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Maybe it was just like a cultural, like I'm gonna hide this thing. And also, I don't know too, like how open the Legion is with psychers as well. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's like a common thing. In Kurz's Legion, I'm pretty sure it isn't for the most part. Like it's pretty. I mean, I'm sure they have psyker Space Marines, of course, there, but I don't think it's common.
The warrior stood alone.
Maybe it is. Somebody let me know,
watching
please.
In silence, his black eyes never judging, never accusing. Sevatar, the Night Haunter said to the staring warrior. You shouldn't be here. Sevatar approached his Primarch, looking at the frozen crowd, but still making sure to avoid the Emperor. Memory or not, the last time he looked upon the master of mankind, he was in the Apothecarian for 7 weeks, and almost demanded Augmetic eyes in frustration.
Damn.
Kurz's features were soured into a shark's grin. Sevatar's intrusion cleared.
Foreset's kind of normal for the Night Lords. Oh, that's true, I guess. I guess that's like Kurz's whole like shtick, isn't it?
Columns of Emperor's children,
to be fair, so that would make sense if they have it too.
You shouldn't be here, the Primarch said again. Not because this is private to me. I do not care about that, Sev. Then why not? Sevatar asked. You know why not? Kurz chuckled. The sound's no different from a lizard choking on dust. In a single night, you've undone decades for suppressing your talent. Kurz looked back over his shoulder, at his son following close behind. Your psyche is no longer guarded. I can read you, in a way I've not been able to do for years. I can see through your barriers, for they are no longer barriers at all. Sevatar knew what this was building to. I don't want to know. Yes, you do. Everyone does. Kurz looked ahead again, turning to move between an isolated phalanx of Ultramarines. I asked you not to tell me back then, sire. Sevatar followed, his face darkening. Please keep to our former agreement. No. Kurz gave his dusty chuckle again, wind rasping through a tomb. You die in battle. Sevatar swallowed. That's hardly surprising, Lord. I've no desire to know the rest. Sevatar began to speak of the Legion shattering, his desire to lead his forces to terror, as still they walked, until Sevatar finally voiced the question that had plagued him for over a century.
Why?
You don't want to know how you're gonna die? I think I'll just tell you anyway.
Sevatar asked
Asshole.
quietly,
Like, bro.
carefully, with no hint of offense or malice. The words still stopped Kurz in his tracks, causing him to turn. The long blade.
Night Lords have some forts that are like level 1, Kurz is like a level 10, Sev is level 9. Okay.
Several streets away.
So he's up there.
What?
He's almost got Kurz levels,
Sevatar
but not
spoke
quite.
just as casually as before.
Why are you the only Primarch?
He can't like
to
see
hate his own
the
legion?
end result, if you
What
will.
have we done to you?
Kurz smiled, barely.
I spoke with Angron and Lorgar not long ago. They told me of their purges, cleansing the untrustworthy elements from the 12th and 17th. I laughed when they said it, at the sheer absurdity of the idea. They knew exactly when to stop the killing of the weak, the treacherous, and the corrupt within their bloodlines. I wouldn't even know where to begin culling mine.
Damn, dude.
Sevatar snorted in dismissal.
That's crazy.
On another day, sire, such words might hurt my feelings.
Look around you. You were born on this world. You grew to adulthood here just as I did. The Emperor praised me for my rule over this world. Even Fulgrim admired it. A model of compliance. An obedient world, they said. Were my people happy? Did that even matter?
They certainly weren't happy.
People human despite their feral drives.
Jesus.
I made them civilized despite their baser instincts. I raised them above the level of beasts. That was my responsibility to them as a superior being, and I fulfilled it.
Kurs looked to the grey
It's a crazy
skies,
way to look at it, man.
rising in every direction.
I guess so, yeah.
And the frozen smoke
But
from
also-
the foundries and manufactorums, veiling the spire tops in a haze of pollutant smoke.
Like, hot damn, man.
And see how my people rewarded me. I was gone only a handful of years before everything soured. My own.
Seva's like a 6, Sanguinius 7.5.
With recruits who were worthless
Kerr's
as
8.5,
soldiers,
Emperor is like 9, 9.5.
violators,
That would make sense. No
Murderers.
one being a 10. That would make sense.
thieves, the scum, the dregs, the detritus.
Sevatar almost laughed.
Sire, you are no different. The Legion is disorderly and vile, because it is cast in your image.
No,
Kurs drenched the single syllable in regret.
no, you don't understand. I've never claimed to be perfect, Sevatar. But I became the sinner, the monster, the night haunter, so my people would never have to. And look at the result. Look at the recruits from Nostramo, less than a decade after I departed. Look at the filth they sent me. Look at the
Damn.
disgusting dregs of humanity my own apothecaries infused with my genetic material and reforged into transhumans. The 8th is poisoned, Sev. Generations of men who are murderers in my image, yet devoid of my conviction. They are killers and abusers because they want to be, not because someone had to be. Fear is supposed to be the means to the end. Look at the bloodshed my legion has wrought these last years, even before the crusade was done.
That's crazy,
Fear became
dude.
the end itself. It was all they desired. They fed on it.
Kurs,
My
that's
sons
literally
were
your
strong.
doing, though.
So they bled the weak for their own amusement. Tell me, Captain, where the nobility is in that.
Like, exactly, but that's like literally what he was like feeding within his own legion. That's like, listen, he's upset about all that, but he's upset about it because their reason for doing it isn't his reason. But he is promoting that fucking behavior and that activity, like outwardly promoting it, and has been forever. So now he's upset because, oh, they don't have the fucking ideals. They have the method, but not the ideals. That's the only thing he's upset about, that they're not killing in the name of this instead of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a radical fucking, like, like turnaround on him. Like, bro, Kurs, it's your own fault, you dumbass. Like, bro. And now Sevatar is like a
the
guy.
nobility in any of this?
Like, what do you mean?
Sevatar gestured to the streets of Nostramo Quintus around them.
You can claim savage nobility, father, but this is far more savage than noble.
Kurs's pale lips peeled back from his filed teeth.
There was no other way.
Yeah, it was very rare, I
Sevatar
feel like,
answered
that
his
the
father's
Imperium would
smile.
exterminate honest planets, even those that
No.
rebelled.
What
I
other
don't think it
ways
happened
did you
commonly.
try?
Sevatar,
Answer me, father.
Because again,
What?
it's the case of you're condemning everyone on that planet to death, where that's just not necessary. Usually it's just like a rogue colonial like administration has gone, you know, ape shit, and that needs to be put down. Okay, but that's not everybody on the planet. I mean, most people on the planet would probably welcome you back with open arms, you know what I mean, kind of thing. It's not like they went like, you know, it's not like every single person there is a turncoat, you know. I just virus bombing a world and killing billions is just, it doesn't seem like it's the good first answer. Like the good first, like, we do this right off the gate, you know what I mean? I don't think that's a thing that many Primarchs did, or many legions did at all. Some, of course, if the circumstance was necessary, but I just feel like it was not their first, like, go-to, you know?
Pry.
Sevatar.
Answer me, Father. What politics of peace did you teach? What scientific and social illumination did you bring to the society? In your quest for a human utopia, what other ways did you try beyond eating the flesh of stray dogs and skinning people alive?
It was the only way.
Sevatar laughed again.
The only way to do what? The only way to bring a population to heel? How then did the other Primarchs manage it? How has world upon world managed it, without resorting to butchering children and broadcasting their screams across the planetary voxnet?
Their worlds were never as serene as mine was.
And the serenity of yours died the first second your back was turned. So tell me again how you succeeded. Tell me again how this all worked perfectly.
You overstep your bounds, First Captain.
How can you lie to me like this? How can you lie to yourself? I stand here inside your mind, witnessing a theater of your own memories. Your way is the 8th Legion way, now, but it has never been the only way. Just the easiest way. You enjoy this way. You came to love it, just as we all did. The power, the righteousness.
Get up, Sevatar. Leave me be.
Sevatar narrowed his eyes.
Literally saying you're no better than us, don't act like it.
Sire. Not without you.
Kyruu smiled. His son could see that.
First Captain got some balls? Yeah, he just fucking stood on business there, man. Like, straight up.
Have. But you are a shadow of what I am, Sevatar. You cannot match me. Go.
How do we do it without offing kids? Great quote, yeah.
Sevatar filled his lungs.
How come they can do it and we can't?
Cold as he drew it in. Trez released his
They get peace without butchering children on the Voxnet. How?
Scarred from the lion's blade.
Like what?
His other senses filtered back.
Beg your pardon?
He smelled the bleachy, chemical reek of the apothecarian. A smell which could never quite hide the scent of fresh blood. He heard Trez's labored breathing and the beat of the old man's heart. Then he heard the sirens. They had found them again. Sevatar didn't have time to wipe the blood pouring from his nostrils. He darted into the nearest corridor, bludgeoning through any crew unfortunate to bar his way. This is Sevatar to Fleet. Let me be clear, brothers and sisters. I am not losing to these pious, deluded, rag-wearing whoresuns twice in the same month. Focus all fire on the invincible reason.
Rag-wearing.
They crippled our Primarch. Let us return the favor. I need a...
Also, that's a base ship name. The Invincible Reason. I think I'm gonna use that name in Star Sector. Somebody remind me of that, because that's a fucking base ship name. The Invincible Reason. Dude. That's some shit right there.
They crippled our Primarch. Let us return the favor. I need at least 50 ships willing to remain for the attack. Orpheon was the first to announce his refusal.
The Lion's flagship? I like that. That's a pretty sick flagship name.
But when Varhajan did not reply to the order, Sevatar grew concerned. Varhajan, brother, the voice crackled back. I ordered the Crypteria to run. You can't risk the Primarch.
Yes, we know what game is being played tonight. Maybe.
Maybe. Battle with a dispersing fleet.
I got 2 in mind, actually.
Sevatar had expected argument from the veteran. Perhaps
maybe
yet another
3.
grunted complaint about authority. Sevatar, there's... Lord Curtis is stirring. Is he awake? Can he stand? Can he fight? No.
He's
Then it
useless.
changes nothing. Send Valzon back to the Nightfall before you break away. I trust your apothecaries to watch over Lord Kurz. I need mine back here. It will be done. Good hunting, Sevatar. Sevatar glanced back at the hololith, at the spread of so many ships, friend and foe alike. The Night Lord's fleet broke apart, scattering in all directions and heedless of destination. Something about witnessing his legion scatter made Sevatar melancholic. He knew this would be the last time that the Eighth would be gathered in such a large force.
Damn.
It made the most tactical sense. A choice perfect for the Legion's method of war. But Sevatar could not help but feel a tang of regret. That perhaps this was the last days of the Night Lords.
With any
The
luck.
Dark Angel's fleet outnumbered them 8-1. Yet still Sevatar's ship plunged forward, drawing their ire. A thought gave Sevatar pause. How did the Lion manage to jump his entire armada with such frightening efficiency?
She's just built different,
How
dude.
did they know where they were? He placed the concern to the back of his mind when he noticed the excoriator, still carrying the wounded Conrad Kurz, suddenly stopped moving. He voxed Varjahan immediately, but the connection remained silent. Time until maximum weapons range? Sevatar asked. 29 seconds, Captain. A human serf called out. All hands, brace for incoming fire. Cripple every ship we pass. But be ready for the flagship. I want everything, everything, aimed at the invincible reason.
Dark Angels don't
Kill
defeat,
her
we
and
obliterate.
literally from us
Damn.
with our heads held high. Soon, both sides found themselves ignoring every convention of void warfare.
I'm surprised the Night Lords are going in
favor
like
of
this.
sheer
It seems
brutality.
suicidal.
The Invincible Reason and Nightfall, two Indomitable Gloriana-class battleships, came at each other almost like wild
Gloriana
animals instead of
class.
the long-range weapons platform they were
I might
created
look
to
for that
defeat.
in Star Sector, see if we can get a Gloriana
Cruiser
class.
escorts were swept aside by the Nightfall as it killed its way through towards its target. The Imperium had always preferred its void battles at extreme distances.
But these might be battle barges, not
Mathematics and
Imperium manned
logistics carried
ships,
the
so it's
day
hard to
as much
say.
as
We
the
might not be able to
captain's
find one.
But just as every other tenet of Imperial superiority, it was broken by this heresy. The Nightfall had punched a hole through.
Oh, this isn't a battle
The other
barge. This
Eighth
would be an
Legion
actual
ships roared
battleship.
in pursuit of their crumbling flagship.
We might actually have them.
Rage ruined all need for subtlety and tactics. The two flagships, amongst the largest and most heavily armed creations ever to rise from the collective genius of the
Gloriana
human
is
race.
Imperial Navy? Okay,
Speared
that's, yeah,
closer with
okay,
no
I was
regard
confused
for
there.
their
Yeah, they're different
craft.
classes.
Sevatar watched the spread of the ocular screens.
Yeah, battle barge is
Each
like
one alive with an image of ships dying in the dark.
the
Black
Spaceborne
steel
chapters.
breaking
They have
apart.
those, if I remember correctly.
Ghost fire
I'm fucked up.
vanishing into the void. Sensitive Nostraman eyes winced close across the bridge, as one of the screens showed the warship Tenebror die. Its prow wreckage, still hemorrhaging debris and crew. In its dying breath, it sent a lance through the rear of the Pride Mark, igniting the Dark Angel's vessel's warp engines and detonating the entire ship in a migraine of foul light. No matter the destruction, the 50 Night Lord vessels refused to deviate or divert from their plan. The fleet had carved their way through towards their target, and the Invincible Reason began to take scoring wounds. But Sevatar felt the hope from whatever surging momentum they had die, as he saw the excoriator surge forward to face the enemy's flagship alone. The ship carrying Conrad Kurz ignored everything. Enemy ships firing on it, other 8th Legion vessels demanding it fall back into formation. Sevatar watched it roll,
It's just
wounded
suiciding
to the
itself.
point of being held together by nothing more than spite. He could tell from its trajectory that it wasn't even aiming to ram one of the enemy ships. It was just dying.
Literally.
Drawn out. Graces die through the enemy fleet.
What a
breaking their
waste.
Formation. Sevatar sighed. Despite the tremors rattling the strategium, he calmly sat down on the Primarch's throne and rested his cheek on his crimson gauntleted knuckles. A shame, really. It had been a good plan. He wiped the blood from his face again, this time from his jawline, below his ear. How very vexing. The British Vox hissed back to life with several false starts. Sevatar, said a deep, distorted voice, bare of any emotion beyond the faintest, oily amusement. Welcome back, father, Sevatar replied. We can finish this now. Join me, said the Night Haunter. Let me guess, replied Sevatar. You plan to teleport on to the Invincible Reason, don't you? I have to finish this fight, Kurz replied. Yes, said Sevatar, reaching for his spear. Of course you do. Does it matter not that in a handful of minutes we can punch through the Angel's rearguard and rip into the wall? The answer was several seconds incoming, preceded by the muted shouts of dying humans aboard a burning ship.
Jesus.
Come with me. Bring the Atramentar. Finish this at my side, said the Primarch.
You're gonna get fucking annihilated,
Sevatar
Curse.
looked
Like,
out
that's
over the
crazy.
Elevated above the crew.
Should've just left, man. Should've just left.
This is why
They had an opening.
always win. Sevatar mused aloud. They don't get any.
They literally
choice.
had a way out. It was a good plan.
Discipline maybe.
Sevatar was trying to carry that on his back. Poor guy.
Application. Sevatar stood and stalled from the bridge with only one final command to the crew. I may be gone a while. Try not to get my ship killed. You can't be serious. The pilot voxed. Sevatar stalked along the back of the fighter, maglocking his boots to the wraith's dark skin a few meters behind the cockpit. He shook his head at the Navasir's moronic expression of shock. I said, go. Sevatar crouched low, taking 3 punches to smash a deep dent into the fighter's hull, just enough to grip the edge. He kept his spear held behind his back, angled away. The fighter thrummed beneath his boots, coming alive again. Sevatar, this is insane. The pilot voxed. Sevatar rolled his black eyes behind the red.
Like, literally. The pilot wants to make it back, dude.
Words again. Sometimes he wondered if duty was just a word to other people.
Oh my
never
god.
truly grasped its meaning.
This isn't
Get
duty,
me
this is
the invincible
suicide.
Reason. He boxed. My men are fighting aboard, and I'll die before I send them into a battle I wouldn't join myself. He was Atramentar. His brothers were Atramentar. There was nothing more to say. Through a streaming tide of First Legion fighters, a sun in midnight clad rocketed towards the flagship of the Lion. Sevatar felt nausea for the first time in over
Fighter jet surfboard. Holy
which was
shit.
novel enough to make him.
I just imagine he's fucking. I know this isn't actually how it is, but I just imagine him like literally on top of it in space, just fucking like weaving with fucking like rounds coming by and shit like that. Like you just see like Sevatar like on a fucking like literally on top of some fighter craft, just fucking zooming, dude. Like what? What in the Leroy Jenkins is this shit?
Over a century, which was novel enough
Like, bro.
to make him grin. The pressure against his skull and limbs, however, was less
Yeah.
entertaining. A ship in scorched grey roared into the landing bay. In its ruined state, the ship was mistaken.
White
for
Scar,
one
Sword
of the
Storm,
First
Lance of
Legion.
Heaven. Lance of
But
Heaven
that
is
notion
sick.
ended when it
Star
blasted
Steed.
apart the closest munitions officer.
Dark
Armsmen
Chorus,
opened fire
that's also-
using shot
Dark Chorus would be a good one. I could think of a couple ships in Star Sector we could name Dark Chorus. That would be sick. Slaughter Queen. Slaughter Queen. Dude, we should rename the Jericho our fucking Rittenhouse class. Or Rittenhouse? Or Rittenhorse? Rittenhorse? I think it's Rittenhorse. Rittenhouse? Whatever. We should rename that from the Jericho to the Slaughter Queen.
apart the closest munitions officer. Armsmen opened fire.
Instead of taking out
using
passing
shotguns,
fighters with his chain glaive,
because one
dude.
of them could hit
Yeah,
their
he's just
target.
like reaching out and fucking like
Sevatar's
stabbing
bolter
them on the way
began
by.
barking
Like, what the fuck?
as he dived
Slashing
off the
through
wing.
him.
Even when faced with the warrior the Legiones Astartes,
Crazy son
the
of a bitch.
Armsmen kept fighting. Sevatar wanted to cut and kill his way through them, but he knew he did not have the time. He sprinted out of the hangar, finally connecting to his company's Vox web. Ladies, He greeted them, still sprinting. "Where in the hell have you been?" spat back the first voice. Several others joined in, sharing the sentiment. "You have no idea," Sevatar replied. "Where is the Primarch?" "The Primarch is engaged at the 15th Concourse," Bowsen replied. "Half of us are here with him." The 15th Concourse. Sevatar knew the STC Gloriana pattern battleships, as well as he knew the contours of his own armor. The Nightfall was born of the same breed. The boarding action had turned into madness. Every Dark Angel left alive and the ship would rush to that position. It had plenty of angles of attack, and was impossible to defend with a single company of Terminators, even if they were the elite Atramentar. Sevatar would be with them in 7 minutes. 8 if he encountered resistance. 9 if the resistance carried bolters. Boarding an enemy warship was like laying siege to a castle, but worse. Corridor by corridor, chamber by chamber. An attacker could spend half an hour encountering no resistance, beyond confused serfs and ignorant servitors. At the same time, they could spend just as much time having to fight for every footstep they took. On a ship like the Invincible Reason, most resistance carried bolters. Squads were dug in, harrying an assault force with everything they had. It was the type of combat where Terminator armor was best. Sevatar was getting close. The trail of his brother's devastation was almost hilarious. In its absolute severity.
Absolutely fucking
On more
everything
than
up
one
in their
day,
way.
Sevatar's boots splashed through a marsh of shallow blood and carved human meat. The 8th Legion elite were making progress, but the Dark Angels weren't beaten. Not even close. Even with the Atramentar sweeping these decks clear, reinforcements were flooding in from other parts of the ship, storming their way to the Strategium to defend their Primarch. Sevatar cut his way through serfs, and already several Dark Angels. One of them had even earned a spot in Sevatar's trophy rack, the highest honor the Night Lords could give their enemy. At the junction ahead, another 3 Dark Angels in pale tabards over their heraldic black held the line, bolters kicking in their fists. Sevatar crouched behind the relative cover of a corner, reloading his own weapon, lip curling as he crunched home his last magazine. He was pinned. He would have enjoyed cutting them down with his chainglaive, but his bolter made the fight equal. That is, as long as he had the ammunition.
Truly.
Just like his brothers, he never
I mean,
cherished
ammo
a
should be
fair
everywhere,
fight.
to be fair.
Sevatar could at least enjoy the sport of it. But when he looked around the corner, he found himself cursing. The Dark Angels recognized him. The accursed helmet crest. Always that damn crest that made enemies recognize him.
Yeah.
From Isvan to
Get that son of a bitch. Like, literally, target Sevatar.
shouting his name in challenge.
Yeah, literally.
Suddenly, the gunfire
Come
fell
out,
silent,
Sevatar!
replaced with a strangled
Come
grunts
out!
as something hard smashed Ceramite. When Sevatar looked, he saw the Raven, Alastar Rushal.
Face me, Craven!
Sevatar leapt forward, chainglaive spinning as he carved apart the last standing warrior. Sevatar stomped on his throat,
Oh,
and when another
damn.
reached a weak hand against his greave, he put a bolt between his eyes,
Damn.
not even bothering to look up. "You won't believe how I got here," he said to Rushal. The Raven didn't reply. He hadn't replied to anything since Isfahan 5, for it was difficult to speak without a tongue.
Target Sev, you let up on the other Night
Sevatar
Lords?
had
True.
witnessed a minute part of
Yeah,
the
you gotta
Legion's
keep the
most
Night, like,
violent
all Night
atrocities.
Lords suppressed. You can't
But
give
what
them a
he saw
chance.
next was enough to make him breathless, and even laugh at its majesty. The 15th Concourse was a thoroughfare of many hubs, centered on the upper command decks. Dead serfs had decorated the tunnel on his way here, but the scale of the massacre taking place made it look insignificant. The Atramentar and the Night Lords from the Excoriator were knee-deep in the dead, fighting amidst the piling bodies of serfs, servitors, armsmen and Dark Angels, and even their own slain brothers. They fought back to back, in diminishing circles, fighting to the last against a tide of Dark Angel reinforcements, advancing from every tunnel. He'd never seen a weaker last stand in a less defensible position.
Damn.
But the reason was clear enough. Here the Primarchs had met, and here their battle raged. Space Marines, no matter the Legion nor Allegiance, were hard-pressed to abandon their gene sires.
That's true.
So the Night Lords and Dark Angels tore into each other. No quarter was given, while the Primarchs above them mimicked the same violence. Bolters and Chainblades screamed, crashed, and Ceramite was slowly rent apart.
Even if Kurz was to win against the line by some,
by
like utter fucking like travesty shock, right? They're still like surrounded by Dark Angels. They're still gonna get cut down eventually. I feel like that's what has to happen, right?
Ceramite was slowly rent apart. It was the first time since Isfahan 5 that Sevatar
Like I'd be
saw his
shocked if
Primarch
not.
reclaim his lost
Absolutely
glory.
stun-locked if not.
Kurz was not regal, handsome, dignified, or healthy. His
No.
glory was a stark contrast
Sickly,
to his brothers.
corpsely, gross-looking,
He was starved,
stocky.
sickly, and
Yeah.
his majesty was something cold and cadaverous. His sickle-shaped claws sighed out from each finger. He moved like an avatar of liquid grace, but with the jerking of a
Gross
puppet
looking.
controlled by an unseen and malicious sentience. Sevatar had seen Primarchs fight before. Kurz fought with the same energy and grace as when he first joined the Great Crusade. For Sevatar, the Lion's movements were clinical. A ruthless economy of muscle and motion, each thrust and parry executed to perfection, without the audacity of dramatic flair. Kurz's jerked assaults were a flailing of clawed hands, each potential embrace blocked by a long blade, and then turned aside by the next. Sevatar could have watched the entire fight and enjoyed it. But Rushal's meteor hammer crashing into an enemy dragged Sevatar's attention back to his own fight. There were 20 corridors, and the Dark Angels were still pouring in, swarming the Atramentar and Var Jahan's warriors. Sevatar leapt forward, jumping down from a gantry and smashing boots first into the melee. He cut down his first foe, head severed with a single sweep of his chain-glaive. Another warrior lost his hand and then most of his head. A third and fourth
Damn,
were
dude.
disemboweled in a single swing.
Ooh.
And then Sevatar noticed it was happening again. Was he simply faster than everyone else, or were they slower?
Slowing
No matter
down
the
time.
opponent he
Man's
faced,
turning into fucking Neo
He
over
felt them
here.
betray themselves in subtle ways. It was as if Sevatar saw their movements before they actually
Personally, I think the
happened.
Chaos Gods are whipping
Blocked the
Kurz
strike that
passively.
came for him, and dealt
Warping
out his
Kurz
own
passively.
murderous lashes.
That's true, they could be.
The unnatural pressure was
But he's
building
always looked
behind his
corpsely and
eyes.
he's always been a bit
It
deluded
felt
and
like it wanted to break his skull.
insane, you know? So it's hard to
The
say.
violence continued
I don't know if you'd
as the
notice a
pressure kept
change,
building.
honestly.
Around him, enemy and ally were moving slower and slower. One warrior stepped forward, chain blade sparking off the half of Sevatar's own. But he fell with a single thrust to the chest. Sevatar turned.
Also, by the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit that like button, guys. It does help out a ton. I do appreciate it a ton. It does help out the stream a ton. So please hit that like button if you guys are enjoying the stream. Just a little section there. Also, if you're not in the Discord, come join our Discord and subscribe if you aren't. Of course. Let's get going, guys.
And greeted the
Gotta
blow
throw
from
that
the
in there.
next
First time we
angel.
did it. Plug. Come on.
The more Sevatar killed, the more the pressure increased, as an edge of blackness began to surround his vision. It only took him a moment to realize it. It wasn't blood in his helmet, but a physical stain darkening his vision. Was he dying?
Probably.
Something burst in his skull,
Oh,
and his helmet
It was a
now
bolt around.
definitely filled with blood.
damn.
He couldn't hear his brothers shouting his name. They believed their first captain had been wounded, and he wasn't sure they were wrong. Tressa's warning rang through his skull, scalding it through his mind's eye. as if
4
the words
a.m.
were
Need to go
written
to sleep?
fire
For
upon
sure,
his flesh.
Nache. Have a great rest of your night,
This
man.
will
Thank you for
probably
tuning in, as always. I really appreciate that,
You
eh?
have the strength for
Take care of
this,
yourself, man.
but not the control. There's no going back from this. If you unlock the gift you fought so hard to forget, Some doors cannot be closed. Sevatar staggered, down to one knee. He used the fall to cleave out the legs from the closest Dark Angel. The warrior cried out, dying a heartbeat later with Sevatar's glaive through his chestplate. I might be dying, he thought, and the laughter came unbidden. Sevatar turned his head to see Rashal standing above him,
Oh,
a
damn.
sentinel in absolute black. The Raven swung his meteor hammer, the arc ending in a burst of lethal light as it cracked the helm of yet another Dark Angel. The warrior of the First Legion went down in silence, because everything was silent now. Rashal's meteor hammer no longer boomed with every impact. Sevatar's own erratic life signs no longer whined warnings at him. It was, somehow, serene. Sevatar vomited into his helm. He choked on his own bile, because he
Damn.
couldn't stop laughing. He was home. Nostromo. On the rooftop where he came to hide as a child. The sunless world hadn't burned yet in his Primarch's misguided and futile rage. Nothing had changed. As though the world was never annihilated.
See,
by
even
their
they are
own
calling it
hands.
misguided and futile here.
He was standing in the promise of rain before the true
Damn,
storm.
dude.
The pressure in his head was just as
Depressing.
it always had been when he was a child, threatening to bubble over into a fit that would have left him shaking. Ravens called out to him. They were hungry and pecked at the rockcrete rooftop, fluttering their ragged wings. Diego reached for the handful of breadcrumbs in his pockets and offered them to the crows. It was enough food for tonight, but the crows wanted flesh, and Diego agreed. He came back with the body of another boy,
No.
and the crows feasted while Diego was catching his breath.
Oh my god.
He asked the crows to save him some, and they promised to leave him the eyes. Diego didn't like the eyes. He tried
the
them
fuck?
once, and it made him see things. The crows croaked and laughed at this oldest of jokes. Diego sat in silence while they ate.
Prince of
He was
Crows.
bleeding from his nose.
Fucking
and
weirdo,
ears.
dude.
He slept all night.
Sky, man. He's killing
Twitching
kids and
on
feeding
stone.
them to crows. I see where he got the
only
nickname
sound was
from.
a flutter of dark wings,
Pretty metal.
and the brush of mangy feathers against his cheeks. No other sound ever soothed him. No other feeling ever took away the headaches long enough for him to sleep. Sevatar awoke. The battle was lost. He was stripped of his weapons and armor, and incarcerated with 9 of his brothers.
Damn.
A rather unwise choice.
It took him captive.
Sevatar leaned against the wall, listening to his brothers breathing easy. The invincible reason was in the warp. Where they were going, Sevatar could only guess. He knew Kurz had brought almost 700 warriors from the Excoriator in his hasty and ill-advised assault. Perhaps his Quateria brothers were held in other cells. He toyed with the notion.
Kurz is there with a snap spine.
But he wasn't a soul ever given to blind hope.
What a trophy prisoner of war.
Primarch
Like,
was
yeah,
nothing
literally.
but that much he
Sevatar,
knew for
Kurz.
certain.
No, they didn't get Kurz
He heard
that
his
yet?
brothers rouse,
Damn.
and they began speaking of how the Dark Angels had overwhelmed them in a final assault. And Kurz had fled.
Oh, Kurz fled.
No doubt the Night
Bitch boy.
Haunter was haunting the lower decks of his brother's flagship. He
Probably.
once did the streets of Nostromo. Perhaps he would come and free his sons. But that was unrealistic. After all, had the Night Haunter ever come to break criminals out of their jails? Sevatar guessed they had lost half the fleet. The Excoriator was almost certainly destroyed, and perhaps the Nightfall too. The death of Trez was a shame, as Kurz still needed him. But Sevatar's mind lingered most upon the mortal crew, the faces of those who had served him for years. Sevatar would never admit it to his brothers, or to the mortals in question, but now he mourned some of them,
Really?
He suspected some of them to
Crazy.
be related, the descendants of cousins he left behind in Nostromo, when he first became more than a man. The world had been an urban battlefield in the last century of its life, the scavenging population keeping no civility or morality, let alone historical records. Yet he couldn't shake the sense of connection with them, just as he couldn't shake how much they resembled the family he had once known. It was said that the Space Marines contained eidetic memories, yet Sevatar wasn't sure he remembered his mother's face. He pushed the melancholy aside, with no real difficulty.
He wasn't a space marine when he knew her.
He wasn't a doleful soul, just as he wasn't an optimistic one. At least in captivity, Sevatar had time to plot, to muse, to process. The Thramas crusade was over. The Legion was scattered. While many would join the March on Terror, could one even still call the Night Lords a Legion, after all
No,
they had
a war
lost?
band, if anything.
The Night Lords made for poor prisoners. At any given opportunity, guards were slaughtered by makeshift shanks. Sevatar had even managed to break his cell,
What the
running
fuck?
rampant through the ship's holds until hunted down again.
They
This
just keep
time,
breaking out. What the fuck?
Primarch Lionel Johnson ordered more drastic measures.
Wrap
This
them
new
in
cell
chains.
contained a force barrier. Sevatar was covered in darkness so deep that not even his Nostraman eyes could adjust and see anything. They kept him in this lightless cage, deactivating the barriers.
Remember
and
they
awakening
scattered?
the
True,
illumination
true.
probes.
Yeah,
For
they
15
literally did
minutes
become
each
war
day
bands,
cycled
like
through.
unironically.
They brought him
That is
nutrient
actually
to his
facts,
food,
isn't it?
a taste of bland chemicals and stuck to his tongue like wet sawdust.
Ooh.
He grinned at his captors every time. This is the finest thing I've ever eaten. Even better than the last, he said. This disorientation was absolute. And even if he broke out, the prospect of fighting dozens of armed legionaries with nothing seemed like a swift suicide. He was alone. He wasn't sure how many weeks or months had passed. Perhaps the war was over, the Emperor or Horus dead. There was some measure of peace in the darkness, as nothing else existed beyond it,
True, you'd have no idea what's
A
going
voice
on.
came
That's
to
kind of
him.
crazy to think.
prodding ever while. A woman's voice,
Oh.
asking him if he was still alive. The pain and pressure kept growing. The blood never stopped trickling from his nose. He found it was only her voice that relieved the pain.
Either he's going
Sevatar
insane or
dreaded
he's using his psyker abilities
hearing
here.
the voices of dead Nostromo. For some time he had respite, but now they had returned. They bled into reality. Sometimes he even saw their eyes in the darkness of his cell, before
Damn.
slinking back into the shadows. It isn't real, he told himself. Sevatar awakens. He opens his eyes. In midnight clad stands a face he has not seen since the defeat at Thramas. Krukesh, one of his new Cryptera, was staring down at his first captain in chains. Is this another phantom? Perhaps his brother was now dead. Krukesh began to taunt him, telling him that this pathetic relic was unworthy to leave what remains of the Legion. It was only when a hand touched him did Sevatar's eyes open wide. He thrashed in his chains,
Hey Vincent, how you
behind
doing, man?
his
Good to
gag.
see you here.
but just as
Thank
suddenly,
you for tuning in.
Krukesh was gone, enveloped in etheric backwash, leaving the first captain to wonder if his sanity had
Been eyeing up the
finally
$13 Jedi bundle on Steam? Yeah, I saw that on
the
sale.
long watches of the night. Boredom
Now's the
was
time to
his
get
only
it if you
true
want it, man,
companion.
because damn.
The
Good
dead
sale,
lie
good
in
sale.
their graves,
Fortunate about your
silent
card,
and
though.
rotting, righteously punished.
Ready to stay up
he
way
hears
too
their
late? I
moaning
feel that, I
voices.
feel that.
Is nothing but the misfiring throb of his own imprisoned dreams. That is what he tells himself. Jaeger, are you still alive? But not her. Her voice is the only one that sticks around. stronger than any echo he had experienced before. Sevatar had not spoken to a ghost in a very long time, but he wondered if the girl had ever shared his cell. If that was the case, what had made her so special?
True.
That she deserved a cell fit for the Prince of Crows. Perhaps she simply died aboard this vessel. Like a lost child, she clung to Sevatar, observing him with strange curiosity. He doubts she even realizes she is dead. "Diego?" she asks. "I am here," he says to the cold air. There is blood running from his nose, hot and thick and slow. He wipes it away with the back of his hand. "I am
Damn,
here,
was that high of a
Hastati.
fee? Damn, dude.
Is it the pain again?" she asks. Trez was right. Perhaps he should have accepted his help. It took great effort to speak past the grinding pressure that built in his brain. "It has been worse. It feels like you are dying," Altani said. Sevatar chuckled at that, but didn't deny it. Death was not a laughing matter, except if it was his own.
Fair
"I
enough.
am still here for now." What
Psychic
do you
insanity is so much fun. Yeah, dude, he's literally losing his mind in here.
want? "I'm lonely," she said. "I am sorry to hear that, little one." Sevatar hesitated, already uncomfortable, yet wishing to keep her near for a while longer. It is the 4th time she has come to him, the 5th. The pressure in his head defies his attempts to focus on even mundane tasks like tracking the passage of time. "Yours is the only voice I welcome. Did you know that?" "I don't understand. You hear other voices? Even when you are awake? I thought they came only in your dreams," Altani said. "Yes and no." Sevatar shrugged in the darkness. A futile gesture, if ever there was one. In truth, he had always heard them, even as a boy running through the streets of his backwater home. He had heard the people of Nostramo. They desired much and were very, very angry. He was deeply familiar with the endless murmuring
For
of
Jedi
emotions
Fallen
people
Order
had
for
behind
stability?
their eyes.
The Jedi
Even the
Survivor
church
story a
songs
bit
of the
more.
city's
Okay.
crows as they fought over food. But none of it compared
My
to
only,
the
like,
whispering of the dead.
Thing is I hear they're
He
kind
saw
of
the
puzzle
flashes
games.
of
Is
their
that true?
memories when he glanced into the eyes of a body in a gutter, and their pleas were endless. Especially the victims of the Night Haunter's public hangings. Many begged him to avenge them. Sometimes they would speak with him, in that nameless place between slumber and consciousness. Telepathy, necromancy, but the words themselves didn't matter. All of the music of sentient thought had been his to hear, until the Legion sealed it away, leaving him in blessed silence. No longer did he overhear other thoughts. No more did he hear the beckoning offers of the slain, until now. "Diego, do you hear the other voices when you are awake?"
I hear voices,
asked.
and I see dead people.
"I
Like,
have
bruh.
lived. One I do not want. Once I tried very hard to lose, long ago." "That isn't what I asked, Diego. I know you have the talent. How else do you think we are speaking like this?" Sevatar's skin crawled at her knowing tone. "What child has the right to sound so knowledgeable about such things?" he said. "I watch," she replied, as calmly and peacefully as ever. "I listen. No wonder you're in so much pain. Did you truly seek to banish your talent?" "I tried, and for a time I succeeded," murmured Sevatar. In his century of life, he could never have imagined a young girl schooling him on the mind and soul. She warned him of
How young is she, though? That's
that
the
banishing
thing.
his gift had caused.
This is some ghost
The
on board a
Sevatar
ship,
was a
dude.
worthy
She's
price
probably
to
hundreds
pay.
of years old.
For a time, at least. The Night Lords were not a legion that respected psychers.
Sev is what happened to the kid in The Sixth Sense. Holy shit.
Since unlocking his gift, he knew the truth. It was slowly...
Puzzles are pretty average difficulty, especially since your companion gives you optional hints. Okay, okay.
Than this. He had even enacted some himself. Altani should know, he thought. He knew from experience the dead do not like being reminded they are, in fact, dead. Altani's voice at least soothed his pain. But she had a question. She wanted to know who the Prince of Crows was. Sevatar took a breath and explained that he was the Prince of Crows.
Yeah, she's definitely not a ghost.
By his brothers.
She's something.
What is a crow? She asked. You ask the strangest things, he said. He closed his eyes.
Could a ghost merely be a memory? Maybe.
On what world were you born? He asked. Terra. But I was taken by the First Legion when I was very young. One of the Earthborn. I am honored. If you are from Terra, I assume you know what a bird is. Yes, I've seen them in books. Is a crow a type of bird? She asked. Black of feather and dark of eyes. It feeds on the bodies of the dead and sings in a raw, croaking call. Why are you the Prince of Birds? She asked. Another chuckle leaved his parched throat. His mind drifted to the crows he fed upon Nostromo. He leant his head back against the force field, feeling its angry hum vibrating through the back of his skull. It is a title. A joke between my brothers and me. Crows feed on corpses, and I make a lot of corpses. The dead girl was silent for a time. He can feel her in the back of his mind sometimes, even when she says nothing. Her presence is like the sweep of invisible searchlights. Are you lying to me, Jaeger? No, little one. It is true, but it is not the whole truth. Sevatar licked his cracked lips, tasting the blood upon them. It is, however, enough truth for now. Where is your homeworld? Altani asked innocently. The breath he draws into his lungs is spiced by the scent of his own sour sweat.
I'm Bird Guy, pretty cool, eh? Yeah, literally.
Gone.
Literally.
Dead.
Isn't that such a cool title?
Destroyed.
I get all the bitches, dude. I'm the Lord of Birds.
What was it called?
Are you now?
Asked. Nostromo. A lawless and sunless place. It burned not because it was guilty, but because we failed to keep it innocent. Our laws failed the moment we sailed away to the stars. And in desperate embarrassment, our father incinerated the evidence of his failure. Sevatar asked her if she had ever seen a world die. She had not. He felt her presence, as in vision they glimpsed the place of his birth, through his own eyes. It's beautiful, he whispered. Then from the stars the world was broken apart. Truly, honestly beautiful. I have never seen anything that stirred me the same way as the night I watched my homeworld burn. It's decreation incarnate. You unmake the very threads of the universe, pulling apart a body of rock and fire, and life that the galaxy itself conspired to create. You see the world's burning blood through the cracks in its breaking tectonic plates. Silence answered this heresy. Sevatar knew he was a traitor amongst traitors.
Crazy.
His confession given at last. Finally, the dead girl speaks. Jaeger, I don't understand you. That is because I am the only simple man in a complicated galaxy. Now the Imperium burns and trillions die in the trenches of Horus's ambition, and in the fires of the Emperor's hypocrisy. To the abyss with them. I spit on them both. The Lord of Knights they call us. The nobility and the darkness. That is what we were born to be. I am not a soldier beholden to a master. I am justice. I am judgment. I am punishment. Or at least, what I should have been. Altani saw through to the truth. That Sevatar wanted to be punished for his crimes. Who was Sevatar judging? Who was he punishing? And most importantly, whose side was he on? After all, Sevatar had stopped escaping. He wanted to meet his justice. Sevatar lay on the floor, blood pooling around his head. The lumen globes flashed back into life.
I wonder how long he's actually been in captivity for at this point. Like, it's got to have been a long-ass time.
And greeted his captors with a smile as unloving as a rusted blade. He acted eager for his food, and was grateful for their wondrous hospitality. Sevatar's captors stopped taking the bait long ago. They refused to engage or bite, and only stood in silence. Sevatar knew there were 3 of them. 2 kept their bolters on him, and a 3rd gave him the slop bucket. Please convey my compliments to the chef, he says to them. The last bucket was the finest yet.
Back in...
He hears the
yeah, fear, yeah.
Is
that so?
Guards, and can't resist a smile even
Holy
as his
shit.
blood runs cold. Well, this is new. Is there a reason you're taking aim at me? We heard you speaking before we entered. Has madness come so swiftly to the great torturer, now that he languishes in captivity? Said the angel. So it would seem, Sevatar replies. Who are you speaking to, Sevatar? The ghosts that share my cell. When you're left alone for such a long time, you tend to conjure your own company. Are you aware that you are bleeding again? Am I? My thanks for your concern, cousin. It wasn't a concern, the angel barked. I know. I was imagining you were from a legion where your Primarch gifted you with manners. Can I have my nutrient slime now, noble knight? I'm ever so hungry. Sevatar managed to open his eyes, just enough to let in a sliver of vile light. 3 blurred figures stand before him, just as he expected. I've not seen you before, he says to the first of the wardens. I recognize the others, but not you. What brings you to my chambers, cousin? Do you find yourself amusing, traitor? The angel replies. You keep calling me that. Show some
Check out
respect,
the
angel.
Talos video? Yeah, we can do that.
I
We can do that.
outrank you know. The warrior gave a disgusted grunt. We are watching you, Sevatar. Seeing as I am caged like a prize pet, I can't imagine that makes for interesting viewing. Shouldn't you be out there, fighting your little war? They don't rise to the bait, as he knew they wouldn't. Days pass. The Dark Angels leave his container of protein paste on the floor, before retreating back to the door. Sevatar waits for the charged hum of the power field to crackle back into life. Only then does he move, eating as a beast would eat, feeding from the gruel in his cupped palm. For a time, he is alone once more. There is nothing to relish in its cold, chemical untaste. Diego. Her voice comes again. The relief of her gentle tones is immediate and absolute. Ice water poured onto a burning wound. Dinner is served, he tells her. Are you hungry, little one? He holds out his dripping hand, offering the protein slime to the darkness. If you wish, you can share this glorious repast. No, Diego, please listen to me, Altani whispers. The Knights of the First aren't blind. They fear something is wrong with your mind. I am told there are many things wrong with my mind.
Yeah, literally.
He
There's a
bears
lot
his
wrong
raw
with me,
wet
man.
teeth in a vile grin.
That's nothing new.
I'm afraid you'll have to be specific. Because of the blood and the pain, they suspect your secret. One of them has the talent. He knows you're hiding something. Calm and sudden cold. Sevatar licked the bland, grey taste of the protein paste from his lips. One of them was a psyker. How could you know that? He asked. I could feel him in here, with us. He reached out to you with his mind, just as I am. So, the First Legion were using their librarians to watch over him. An unforeseen threat he would have to deal with. But it wasn't the Dark Angels that left his blood running cold.
Does make sense, though, if he's sitting there talking to himself. Like, yeah,
He says cautiously,
get some librarians on his
as
ass.
close as he'd come to fear since he was taken and reshaped by the 8th Legion. Tell me something, little ghost. How did you die? What? Shock colors her tone. I'm not dead, Diego. Sevatar's blood is cold, like the frost that scales over powerless shipwrecks, drifting deep in the void, far from the light of any sun. He breathes through clenched teeth. His hands begin to tremble. Weaponless unease. She is in his head. This girl, this creature, has forced herself into his mind. Who are you? He says, his voice dangerous. Altani Shedu, second voice of the choir. She responds. The choir. The realization grips Sevatar in talons of black ice. She isn't some wraith lingering on the wrong side of the grave. She isn't the spirit of a girl who died aboard the Dark Angel's ship. She is an astropath. You are an astropath, he growls. I thought you knew, she whispers. How else would I reach you, if I didn't possess the talent? Sevatar finds himself laughing for the first time in all this torturous ordeal. Laughing through the diminished pain that the game's face.
He's gonna lose his fucking mind for real this time,
You
dude.
thought I was dead.
Yeah, he's about to actually lose his fucking
faces
mind.
in his imagination, but he can almost picture her innocent, open-mouthed surprise. One of the dead voices that you dream? It doesn't matter, Altani. None of it matters. Will you not be punished for this contact? He asks. Yes, if they discover it. But I am the second voice, and the strongest of the choir. I would be first voice were I older. For a child to be raised to the rank of second voice, her psychic strength must be beyond measure, and that makes her precious to her masters, without a doubt.
Yeah, she must be insanely
Sevatar
cracked.
wondered
Like,
just
straight
how
up.
safe she really was, speaking so intimately with the imprisoned enemy. Why?
And why is she talking to him? Yeah.
Do you risk your life speaking with me?
Like, yeah. Just to
I
know?
saw your dreams, she responded. All of us have felt them intruding into our work. Your dreams are destroying the rhythm of our choir's ashapathic song. The others turned away, guarding against the pain of your mind. I alone did not. Why? He asks. Because I saw the redness of your nightmares. I knew I could ease your pain. I cannot teach you to master the talent, but I can keep it from killing you. His reply is a blade cast out into the dark, made vicious by his
I
anger.
don't need your help.
Is this a game you play with First Legion prisoners? He feels the words flash from his tongue like throwing knives, hurting her, wherever she is. But anger steals what little guilt he is capable of feeling. Is this some pathetic attempt to breed gratitude towards an ally of my captors? Some scheme to break me with kindness rather than privation? No, not that. Not for any of those reasons, she says. Then why? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? She doesn't break in the face of his fury. Listen to yourself, Diego. Unable to feel gratitude without suspicion. Unable to even understand why someone would help another soul in pain. Your homeworld has poisoned you. That is no answer at all. Not to you, no. You are a broken soul, Diego. Always thinking of yourself. Always judging yourself. You've lost the right to judge anyone else. Her words hit him with the force of a blow to the head. He stares blindly into the darkness, as if he might see her there, but she recedes from his mind. This time, for the first time, he chases her.
Oh,
reaching
really?
out with an untrained, instinctive sense he swore he would never use. But she is gone. His visible grip does nothing.
Does he feel
to
bad?
drench the empty silence. Thank you, Sevatar says. It is the first time he has said those words and meant them in many years. I wasn't sure you would return. He caught me, Diego. Sevatar hears it then. Some new tension in her voice that was never present before. Some new discomfort. It focuses him, drawing his wandering thoughts together in a blade of concentration. Despite the queasiness, he sits up in a slow, smooth motion. Who caught you? He asks. My overseer, the master of the choir and the first voice. He sensed our contact. I thought I was careful enough. Hush now, he says softly. The sluggishness leaves his words. His tone grows as cold as his concentration. They punished you, didn't they? He asks. Yes, and not for the first time. But it's over now. Sevatar did not care. He needed to know what happened. He felt a violent urge and stood up, missing his spear. But he knew he did not need it.
He's actually caring for her. That's kind of strange. Wow. He's actually turning around. He's never seen this astropath, but he's actually like caring about her.
He simply reached into her mind and ripped the information from her. He feels her flesh elsewhere, a husk of battered meat and broken bone. He knows what they did to her. He feels her utterly human panic of being beaten while helpless and blind, unable to raise a hand against the incoming blows. He feels the lashes of whips cracking, with electrical discharge across his unarmored body. He feels something give in his spine, a crunchy snap of dislocation.
Damn.
And the numbness that follows. He knows everything. They scoured her for 7 days and 7 nights. She could no longer walk, but even paralyzed, she is still of use.
Damn.
An astropath needs no legs to sing her war-born song. Sevatar feels his lips peel back. It is an ugly sentence fit for the madmen of the Martian Mechanicum, who are known to do such things to their disobedient thralls. He releases her mind and faces the door. He hears them now. Their boots echo on the iron deck.
Is he about to get
sending
active with it?
shivers through the floor. Let them come.
He's about to get active.
Whispers, you can't fight them all. I have no intention of fighting them. You said it yourself, girl. I earned this punishment. There is no self-pity in his words. No melancholy. No torment. Only
Rooting for Sev here, like, this is the one time
Sevatar
Sev is actually being a
wants
decent, like,
justice.
person. I'm not gonna
The light in
lie.
his cell flicker back on.
Like, this is the only
And as
time we've
always,
seen him actually be, like, decent
Sevatar is
towards
forced
anyone.
to close his eyes or be blinded. The power field expires with a crack.
I still don't feel bad for
A
him,
moment
but
later, the bulkhead opened on its grinding.
at least he's
track
actually
once
being,
more.
like, human here, you know?
He keeps his eyes closed as bootsteps enter his cell. The guards were patient enough to let Sevatar adjust his eyesight to the light, preferring that he walk on its own instead of being dragged.
Oh, they're bringing him out.
Diego, says the Dark Angel closest to him. All 12 warriors stop in the same moment, standing motionless in the red-lit reaches of the tributary corridor. He stops in their midst.
Yeah, we did a video
at
on
each
the
of
Franklin
them in
expedition.
turn.
Me and Tent did, Vincent.
You'll die if they
We actually
take
got a
you onto the
reaction to that
prison
video on the channel there.
ship, says one of the other legionaries. I can help.
That's pretty
you,
sick, though, that
but
happened. I
cannot
won't
hold
lie.
this for long. Says
Seems like a really
another.
cool game. I almost want to buy it and try it
Doing
out.
this?
Sevatar murmurs in astonishment.
How strong are you, child?
One of them is a librarian. Fights me at every moment. His strength is immense, says the librarian. Sevatar looked to the head of the column. The lead warrior's black armor plating is etched with elegant cavernite rune script. He stands unhelmed, his features shadowed beneath a hood of ivory cloth.
Made me laugh at the subtitles keep calling Yago Yo. Yeah. Yo or
He sees the
Diego.
warrior's face drawn in a rictus of effort.
Yeah, they're not getting his name
Narrowed
right at
eyes
all,
quiver
are
with
they?
The strain of fighting an unseen battle, and sweat forms diamonds on the Dark Angel's brow.
Hello, cousin.
Sevatar breathes softly.
Don't struggle. This will only take a moment.
Damn,
The
dude.
librarian's eyes roll with an exquisite, trembling slowness to gaze upon the other warrior. No, you are. Sevatar snatches the pistol holder at the Dark Angel's hip and puts a bolt between his eyes.
Damn.
The headless corpse remains standing, but he feels Altani's sigh of relief in his mind as he throws the pistol to the deck. You didn't have to kill him, Diego, one of the other Dark Angels says.
No, but it suited me to do so.
Yet another warrior turns to him. You're almost at the ancillary hangar deck. I can help you steal away onto a cargo hauler, or a tug moving between the vessel that anchor over Macragge. You can hide on board one of the warships, making ready to...
Little one, enough. There is only one thing I need to know.
Even as he speaks, he's reaching for the chainsword sheath at the closest Dark Angel's back. What is it? The warrior asks, turning to face him. Sevatar's fingers tighten around the handle of the legionary's war-scarred blade. He knows that a long, confined journey through the ship's maintenance ducts lies in the immediate future. And she will have to help him, as best as she can, but it will be worth it. Justice, judgment, punishment rings in his mind.
Just tell me where you are, Altani. I want to hear your choir sing.
The chainsword bites into the choir's primary gnosis pod. It vents oxygen and pressurized gas,
Damn.
and coolant a spillage of clear, fizzling liquid. The occupant, a wizened and grey-haired reverend of a man by the name of Menok. He's 30 Terran Standard years old. He
That's
looks
not that
50
old. Damn.
and has the health of a man of 70.
Damn.
Astro-telepathy is an unkind
Holy
illusion.
shit. Yeah, I guess
The brighter
guess
a
so.
mind burns, the more
Holy
directly
shit.
it eats through the body's resources. This ruined man screams in blind panic as he's pulled from his cushioned cradle. Far greater.
No,
than
I
the
just
shock
meant
of
me
being
and Ten
unhooked from the
actually
muscle
did a
beads
reaction
and
to the
biofeeds
Franklin
of
expedition, like the
devastating
IRL Franklin
as he
expedition.
falls
We did a
out of the
video on
choir's
that.
harmonic song.
That's just what I meant by that,
Fire
Vincent.
rakes across the surface of his mind, moving into the veins of his brain like a flood of burning oil. But even weakened by disorientation and stunned by pain, instinct does not desert him entirely. As he is hauled into the air by impossibly strong hands, he reaches for the lash at his hip, only to find that it isn't there. Unlike most astropaths, the Overseer's eye sockets aren't empty. Crude bionics whir and click as they seek to refocus, offering him the distorted image of a towering man he doesn't know, staring into his face with black eyes he doesn't recognize, whispering in a voice he's never heard before.
I have come for you.
Damn.
Overseer Memnok's first words after awakening is a single syllable. He asks what many men in his position might well ask. Why? The first word is also his last. Sevatar collars him with his own lash, garroting the helpless man with the same weapon. Memnok used
Holy
to keep
shit.
the youngest member of his choir until her spine gave out. Yego Sevatarian is an experienced murderer, well familiar with the force required to kill a man in any way the mortal mind can imagine. He strangles the march of the astropath slowly, lovingly, his gene-enhanced muscles barely straining. Just enough strength to drag out the execution without breaking the psyker's neck.
Damn, dude.
Yovis's psychic sense is a maddened, feral thing, pathetically flapping against the Night Lord's mind, as uselessly as his fingers claw at Sevatar's unyielding flesh. His eyes bulge. The flesh of his face darkens from red to purple, and finally to blue. His struggles weaken, become twitches, and finally cease. Sevatar doesn't let go. Not yet. For all his flaws, he's a thorough soul when it comes to duty. Huge ornate doors, sealed against intrusion, finally open amidst a phalanx of knights in black armor. The Dark Angels surround him, ordering him to the deck, raising their bolters to take aim.
He actually did the assassination, dude.
Sevatar calls out to them.
Pretty based.
With a last wrenching twist, he breaks the corpse's neck and casts it onto the deck by his bare feet.
I am judgment. I am punishment. And I surrender.
He sits alone in the blackened stillness, listening to the slow rhythm of his breathing. A sense of serenity cloaks him now, and a feeling of cold focus that has eluded him for decades. When he dreams now, it is not of the dead, but of the endless night between worlds, the deepest void, where 1,000 threats drift away from the light of loyal suns. The domains of aliens and monsters forced into exile by the Great Crusade, still crying out to be extinguished once and for all. The true threats to mankind. Yego. The girl's voice comes to him again at last. Are you still alive? And in the darkness of his cell, Sevatar smiles.
That's how it ends, really. Wow. I'm kind of shocked that's how it ends. It really didn't feel like that's how it would go, I'm not gonna lie. I really liked the ending there, how he broke out, and I really liked the actual, like, human showing from Sevatar there. Again, the entire thing, we didn't really see him be much of a human. We didn't see Eddie, and again, he's a Night Lord, so that doesn't really shock me. But what does shock me is him actually showing some empathy, like showing some care for this astropath girl. And this girl actually trying to, like, learn about him, showing interest, like enough innocence to, like, try to see past that and give him a chance, almost in a sense, to explain himself. And I guess just the measures he was going to go through for that, or for her, because he thought it was injustice. That was interesting. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kind of peeved that it ended like that. Is that because, like, that's just the last book? Like, is that how the I guess the last, like, novel on him ended, and there's just nothing else currently on him? Like, I'm assuming that must be the reason why, like, it ended so abruptly like that. Somebody let me know, please, a little bit more about that. But damn, still thought that was great. The voice acting in that was fantastic. They did a great job on it. Yeah, the Amber King, as usual, killing it. And so it's let's just see here. The Amber King, Vox in the Void, of course, classic. Altered State Adventures, classic. All right. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Altered State Adventures portray Sevatar. Yeah, so good job on that voice acting there for Sevatar there. That was awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see some more from him because, man, he's got a good voice and he did a really, really good job with that. Yeah, I did say I would check out that other video there. Let's just see real quick here. I can pull that up. The Chaos Gods Speak to Talos. Let's just see real quick here. 5-minute long video uploaded by Alpha Regon, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, we can check this out real quick here. Why not? But again, just want to say there is a link to the Amber King's video here, Sevatar's video here. Go check that out. Leave a like on it, of course, if you haven't already done that, because, man, he did a fantastic job on it. Really deserves the rep. yeah, big respect to it. I can't imagine the amount of work that must go into this. Again, I've done a little bit of voice acting myself, but to actually like put it together in a cohesive thing, put the music behind it, actually make sure the script is good and the voice acting quality is good. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and to make one that's 3 hours long too is pretty impressive, I have to say. So again, go over there, give that video a like in the description there, and of course, if you're not subbed up to the Amber King, go do so. Again, makes fantastic content. Great job on this video, I have to say. But yes, on to the next one real quick here. A short little video here. You guys are recommending check it out right now. The Chaos Gods speak to Talos. We obviously did check out Talos's video I think a few months ago now at this point. So yeah, let's check this out. Let's see how it goes. We'll leave a like quick here first. Captions on, quality 1080p. I haven't heard of this channel before. I'm not really too sure what we're in for here with this. So let's see what it is. Without any further delay, guys. Chaos Gods speak to Talos.
Touch me and die.
Damn, dude.
My words false.
Turn it up a little bit.
If you touch me, you will die.
I am Slender. I am the one who thirsts. I am a god more than your chief.
See, they have captions on already.
And this is what I offer you.
This is wrong. The Night Haunter was never exalted above us as a perfect, immortal being. He was moribund and cursed, stronger for all the trials and agonies he endured. This is not how he lived. It is not how I will live either.
This sounds really good. Just a little quiet. I wish they boosted the audio a little bit more, but it sounds good.
Soul has felt my caress. Your brother hears the fears of every living thing. My gift to him.
He resists.
Ooh,
On the surface, he resists.
this sounds really good. Sounds eerie as shit.
Silently relish the sounds of weeping souls. He feeds on fear. He enjoys what he senses.
You are lying.
Hmm.
Be gone.
Everyone's having their turn with them.
Fate. Vandred is one of your slaves.
He is one of mine, a champion of my cause, a beneficiary of my gifts, not a slave. His will is his own.
I believe differently.
Believe what you will. He is something to me. And you, however, could be so much more.
I have no interest in power. The future is unwritten. I am a seer, and I know the path of the future is darkened by choices yet unmade.
I can offer you the secret sight any mortal must have in order to pierce the mists.
My second sight is pure. Yours is the bane of sanity. Leave.
I was
Is interesting. Everyone's having their turn with him here.
never be one of my champions. I have no use for you, and you have no will to wield the power I offer.
Who summoned you?
One of your kind wove his pleas into outer space for a flicker of my attention.
Damn, dude.
Begging into the warp.
An Astartes, a Night Lord, a human? Who summoned you?
No answer.
Make this.
Nurgle doesn't even want him.
I am Karnath.
I know that name.
Yes, your brother Uzas cries it as he takes skulls for my throne.
He is one of your slaves.
Blood and souls. Blood for the blood god. Souls for the soul eater.
Is Uzaz your slave?
Answer me.
Not yet. Soon you'll stand.
He just straight up says soon. Soon you'll be my slave.
But not now. Not yet.
Whoever summoned you to win me to your allegiance has wasted their time. This is almost laughable.
Time is short, and such sights I have to show you. Witness my gifts. See the strength I offer. Do not abandon this one chance.
Go back to hell.
Damn, dude. Nice. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, that was a cool insight there, I won't lie. And it was cool to see each cool to see each chaos god actually try to like sway him there and like betray them to his cause or not. Like Nurgle again had nothing, like Nurgle didn't give a shit. Nurgle's like, yeah, whatever. That's crazy. Holy shit, dude. But Khorne was like, yeah, I want you. Tzeentch obviously wanted him, Slaanesh wanted him. Arguably Slaanesh wanted him the most. Or at least like Slaanesh had the most like time trying to convince him. Nurgle really just did not give a shit. Nurgle was like, bruh, no. So is Sev still alive? I think so, yeah. Sev is definitely still alive. 100%. 100%. I don't think he died there at the end of that. I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Has he escaped? Is he still in change? I'd say he's definitely not escaped. I'd say he's probably still in prison. They probably just like recaptured him if I had to assume. But I think he's still alive. I don't see why they would just kill him like that. It's a waste, you know? They could have done that at any point, but they didn't. So they're definitely keeping him for some reason. Nurgle never hurries, he never pressures, he knows everyone comes to him in the end regardless of their wishes. That is true, that is true. He doesn't waste his time. He knows like at the end of the day, you gotta come to him at some point. One time or another, you will have to come to him. This was a cool video though, and I haven't heard of this channel. Cool channel, I have to say. Does he have other works on there? And it must be his own voice acting too. Good job on that, I have to say. That was pretty impressive. Not heard of him before, but yeah, he's got some very popular videos, it looks like. So I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, 132,000, damn. Only 2.23, go check this guy out. I'll leave a link to this video in a bit here after I'm done the stream. But no, I thought that was awesome, guys. If you guys obviously enjoyed the stream, do hit that like button. It does help out a ton. Subscribe if you aren't, because obviously a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. I think it's roughly something like, what, 75% of the viewers on this channel are not subscribed, which is kind of asinine when you consider it. You know, you do 80%. Sorry, I think we're at like 80, 90,000 views this month alone. You know what I'm saying? So 75% of you guys aren't sub. That's kind of insanity. So if you're not, hit that sub button. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, dude, does mean a lot to me. Awesome to see you guys here. Fear, Battle Chick, and Andrew. I know Khold was here. Yeah, Khold. Vincent, great to see you guys here. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. We have a lot of lurkers here as always as well. A lot of people sitting in chat, not chatting. You know what I'm saying? I understand though. I get it. But yes, we will probably end the stream here. And we will probably be going in a little bit longer. We're probably going for a little bit longer in a bit here. Do want to play some games. I'm not too sure when we'll start that, but I do want to do some games tonight too. So we will see, of course, about that. Yeah. As always, big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati, our Triarii, our Principe, Dagenhart, of course, our Prefects, Fear and Hobbit. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, without any further delay, guys, this has been Centurion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.